Harbaugh, as you said, leading the league with his quarterback rating right now, doing an amazing job. But a lot of that is due to the fact that Lindy Infante has joined the Colts this year. He has learned about the Colts. He watched film on them, decided to come to them, and right now has really been instrumental in developing Harbaugh into the quarterback that he is today. But he also has restructured this offense around another guy, Marshall Faulk, who last year was quite a good runner, but this year has turned him into a receiver.
Meanwhile, for the Panthers, their offense rises and falls on the still erratic efforts of one of the most expensive rookie quarterbacks in the history of the league.
Without a doubt, after the Panthers went out and started 0-3 this season, after the bye week, they decided, let's give Kerry Collins a job. And as you can see from his numbers, widely erratic. 335 yards last week against the Saints, 3 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. But the key to the Panthers is that they built the team around their defense, led by Sam Mills. They wanted to have a stable defense that could go out there and play good football. The theory being, as long as the offense didn't turn the ball over, Sam Mills and that defense could win the game.
On the sideline today, Ted Marchibroda has coached the Colts for more games than any other man in the history of the franchise, more than Eubank, more than Shula. And the Carolina Panthers take the opening kickoff, kicked away by Chris Gardocki, a Clemson University grad. It's taken by the Panthers and back only to the 18-yard line. So Carolina will be setting up behind its own 20-yard line for offense. And we take a look quickly at the Carolina offense. Offensive linemen Blake Brockemeyer and Frank Garcia, the 2 rookies on the left side, have done a terrific job. Brockemeyer hasn't allowed a sack in 11 games. Behind him, Kerry Collins leads the cadre of backs and receivers. Walter Rasby at tight end today, replacing Metzelars. Bob Christian at fullback, replacing Howard Griffith on 3rd down. Anthony Johnson comes into the game, and Willie Green is the 3rd wide receiver. Collins with Rasby in motion behind him. Throws in the flat to Christian. Complete pickup of about 4 across the 20, close to the 22-yard line. A flag on the first play from scrimmage, as Collins tries to operate the Panther offense. Eugene Daniel is the man who ran Rasby out of bounds, or Christian, I should say, and the call is a chop block against the Panthers.
Down on the play.
That'll move it back inside the Carolina 10. And quickly we'll take a look at the Colts defense, which has been solid so far this year. Tony Bennett, the key man on the front. 3 sacks last week against Miami. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. He also had a safety, tackling Dan Marino in the end zone. The 3 linebackers, Grant, Harrod, and Coriat, have combined for nearly 400 tackles. And when the Colts go to the nickel defense, Jeff Harrod leaves the field, and Ashley Ambrose comes on as the 5th defensive back. So after the penalty on 1st down, they move the football back to the 9-yard line, where it's 1st and 20 for Collins and the Panthers. Rasby again in motion. Derek Moore returning to the lineup at running back today. And Moore has a pickup of about 3 across the 10 before David Tate was there to make the stop for the Colts.
We can see that Derek Moore coming back into the lineup this week, and they started the game by trying to throw a little pass out to Christian in the flat. Right now, the running game probably isn't the strong suit of that offense. With Derek Moore coming back from the injury, Howard Griffith, who had taken his place the last couple of weeks, himself being injured, and he's now out of the game.
And they'll miss Griffith's blocking today ahead of Moore. Moore comes out on 2nd down, 18. Anthony Johnson in the game at tailback. Johnson goes in motion. Collins throws, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Walter Rasby, the tight end. David Tate there on the coverage, and he'll miss Metzelars on those short curls over the middle today.
Oh, without a doubt. That was a great acquisition in the offseason, or in the expansion draft, picking up Pete Metzelars, a very good possession tight end. He's not there today. It's going to be Rasby that is the guy. He just doesn't have the timing right now, is what they've been saying, that he doesn't have the timing with Rasby that he had with Metzelars.
So now the toughest situation for a rookie quarterback. 3rd down, 18. Football at his own 11-yard line. Willie Green on the field as the 3rd wide receiver for the Panthers. Collins pumps once. Gets away from pressure as Ellis Johnson was chasing him, number 62. and finally released the incompletion into the flat. Trev Alberts, number 51, was also there to put pressure on Collins.
Well, defensively very good. He tried to come out there with that quick little slant dump over to the right side, covered very quickly. The safeties had rolled up and took that away. At that point, a young guy, he's got to find his alternate receivers, and that is really, at this point in his career, not a strong suit.
Tommy Barnhart, acquired as a free agent, goes deep to punt it away for Carolina. Ray Buchanan waiting for the Colts at his 48-yard line. And Barnhart kicks it high and deep. Buchanan backing up to his 45, moves laterally. Good coverage for the Panthers. So though kicking from deep in a hole, the Panthers are able to get a 43-yard punt and hold Buchanan to a 1-yard return. And a flag is down as Harbaugh waits to come on with the Colt offense.
Buchanan also lost about 1.5 yards in that return, where he got the ball, tried to get around the outside, and was not able to do it.
Face mask penalty indicated here against the Panthers. This will be the second damaging penalty against the Panthers in the game, at least in terms of field position. Harbaugh saying, send them back, make them kick it again. We can get a better field position than this.
Well, that being the case, you're gonna pin that punter deeper into the end zone and make it a little more nervous for him.
This is interesting. Harbaugh comes onto the field now to
Personal
exercise.
Foul, face mask by the kicking number 80. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat, 4th down.
Harbaugh coming onto the field to exercise his captain's duties, and then once he was sure the officials would make the right call, he went back to the sideline. We've got Ed Hochuli's refereeing crew today.
Good job by Harbaugh. Be alert, come on out, make a decision, go and rest.
A bit of game management by the Colt quarterback, and now Tommy Barnhart will be forced deep in his own end zone to get rid of this one.
Boy, the Panthers really came out and did it to themselves. Initially with the first penalty, setting themselves back, making it difficult to get the first down. Now this penalty, really the field position can change dramatically for a while in this game.
Or at least until the Colts score. Barnhart close to the back of his end zone. Now Buchanan stands inside the 50 at the 48. Barnhart's kick is low and short. Buchanan takes it at the 40 and is inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. So Harbaugh was right. They get 20 yards of field position advantage after the 34-yard punt and the 6-yard return. Number 40, Pat Terrell, making the tackle on kick coverage for the Panthers. Quickly a look at the Indianapolis offensive line, anchored by Will Wolford at left tackle, the former free agent out of Buffalo, having yet another Pro Bowl caliber year. Backs and receivers for Indianapolis, Harbaugh and Falk are, of course, the two key figures. The rookie tight end Ken Dilger has been quite a discovery. When it's 3rd and long, Lamont Warren comes on at running back, and Aaron Bailey is the 3rd wide receiver. On 1st down from the 33, the give is to Falk. And the Panthers, who are tough against the run, get a tackle from Sam Mills and hold Falk to a gain of at most a yard. Quick look at the Carolina defense, one of the few remaining 3-4 defensive alignments in the league. The key is the play of the 4 linebackers, Latham, Mills, Bailey, and Connick. In the secondary, rookie cornerback Tyrone Poole has been a discovery, one of 4 rookies playing major roles for the Panthers and doing a pretty good job. When they go to 5 defensive backs, Bubba McDowell, the former Houston Oilers safety, is the man who comes onto the field. 2nd down for the Colts. Harbaugh looking deep, open receiver, and a touchdown as number 87, Sean Dawkins, got free in the end zone.
Wow. Harbaugh really just coming out of the box, and as we take a look at the route here with Dawkins, good, just an inside release up against Tyrone Poole, who they think highly of, but Dawkins just getting that good release off the line and just beating them down the sideline, taking it down to the flag. Great throw by Harbaugh.
Perfect throw by Harbaugh. I mean, Poole didn't give up a lot of separation to Dawkins. Harbaugh just put that ball right on Dawkins' fingertip.
Well, I tell you what, once a guy, especially a veteran guy like Harbaugh, starts to get some confidence, you can really see him just explode.
He's just playing lights-out football. 31-yard touchdown pass for the Colts on their first possession of the game. Gary Blanchard on to kick it out of Gardaki's hold. It's up and through, and with 12 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the first period, Sean Dawkins celebrates on the sideline after the terrific throw by the NFL's #1 passer, Jim Harbaugh. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. First quarter, Clemson's Memorial Stadium. Jim Harbaugh with the baseball cap back on after a 2-play, 33-yard possession and maximum efficiency from the league's most efficient quarterback.
Well, you know, talking to these guys, he really does have the efficiency, but there are some numbers we'll talk about later which indicate how much better than that he can actually be.
Gardaki's kick is taken by Dwight Stone, 2 yards deep in the end zone. First hit is made downfield, but doesn't force the tackle as Stone is able to get past the first man, Matthew Campbell, making a block for him, and a 27-yard return for Stone out to the 29-yard line. Actually make it the 24-yard line, and the Panthers will start their second possession from there. Had not allowed an offensive touchdown at home in the past 3 games. Well, that particular streak of success went by the boards in 2 minutes 20 seconds for 2 plays. Derek Moore back in the game at tailback. Bob Christian behind Collins at fullback. Collins throwing on first down. High toss is collected. 24 Ray Buchanan on the coverage. It was Eric Gulliver who went high to make the catch against Buchanan.
A good catch, and I actually think it was Carrier out there.
Was Carrier.
And you're going to see him just crossing underneath. Just a little slant. What they actually tried to do on the last reception, the last possession, but the defense reacted much quicker last time. This time in a zone, sitting back, gave him a little room to catch.
Carrier again goes wide to the right. Rasby in motion behind Collins. Second down 4. Give the football to number 44, Bob Christian. Christian looking to move the chain. It's going to be about 1.5 yards short after the stop by Bernard Whittington, number 95.
Let's make no illusions about the Panther offense. It looks like Christian's limping a little bit, but their running game is not there to win them any games. Their running game is there to kind of take a little pressure off the passing game.
They can ill afford to lose Bob Christian, who goes down to the grass as you see there. Christian playing today at starting fullback in place of Howard Griffith, who's out with a bad ankle. If they lose Christian, they have no more true fullbacks. He'll be back.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Buick and your local dealers. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. By UPS, the official package delivery company of the NFL. By DirecTV, it's personalized TV. And by Panasonic Smooth Operator Electric Razors. Weather is better.
In the lower foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, leaves are turning here around Frank Howard Field, Memorial Stadium, Clemson, South Carolina. Christian has gone to the sideline with Anthony Johnson, number 23 in the game. The Panthers operate on 3rd down and 2. Collins throwing in the flat and breaking a tackle and busting forward for first down yardage is Johnson across the 45 to the 47. Big play from the former Colt and former Notre Dame Golden Domer. Tony Siragusa reacting back to make the tackle. 15-yard play.
Good job by Siragusa, but it was Eugene Daniels who came out and made the initial hit and let it slip, but good power, good awareness to be able to break that block. And you can see how the Panthers are coming out. They just want to try and establish that short game, start to work the ball down the field with some control.
So Collins' first completion goes for 15 yards and earns a Panther first down at the 47-yard line. Colts leading 7-0, 10:29 to go in the first quarter. Collins wants to go deep, and it's almost picked off by Buchanan, who had 8 interceptions last year. Intended receiver Willie Green. And the flag is down back where Collins released the football.
Well, first of all, Tony McCoy just nailed Collins at the knees after he threw the ball, but it looked like it may have been Derek Graham on the right side.
Holding by the offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Oh, so they're actually going to call it against Curtis Whitley,
who is one of the 2 prominent former Clemson players in the game, the other Gardaki of the Colts, and you get an extra little boo here when you throw the flag against Whitley. They like their Clemson Tigers in Clemson, South Carolina.
Well, McCoy had made a nice move up inside and was basically ripping right in the middle up against Whitley, and I guess Whitley's hand must have just crossed McCoy's chest, but didn't stop McCoy from getting a shot on Collins as he threw the ball.
Spread formation for the Colts on first down 20 from their own 37-yard line. No setbacks behind Collins, 5 wide receivers, and the throw goes underneath to a back slicing in behind the defenders. It's number 23, Anthony Johnson, with the catch, coming out of the slot. Pickup of about 3 yards out to the 40. Went Coryat with the stop.
Well, we're seeing a pattern here. They're going to trips out to the right. 3 guys clearing the zone with deep routes, clearing that underneath, letting that the bottom zone be open for the throw. Defense having to react to it, but interesting move by the Colts defense. They switched from a 4-man front to a 3-man front and brought one of the ends back as a linebacker.
Second down 17, and now the Panthers go to 2 setbacks behind Collins. Whitley changing the blocking assignment at the line of scrimmage. And Collins gets time, releases underneath to Anthony Johnson again, and again a pickup of a few, and they'll have a long way to go on third down. Alberts this time with the tackle.
Well, they're using Johnson quite a bit here today. Maybe because they have to, guys getting injured and stuff, but you see their short game once again, just trying to drop the ball off. You know, this is one of the things you got to do with a young quarterback like Collins too, a guy who can be erratic. You want to give him the short game, let him start dumping off the high percentage passes to gain some confidence.
Football at the 43, third down, 13 yards to go. They've got to get it into Colt territory for the first down. Indianapolis showing blitz. Here comes Grant. They pick it up. Collins with time releases, but he was hit as he threw, and it sailed high over the hands of intended receiver Eric Gulliver.
Well, that was a coverage sack. The defenders were out there. They had all the receivers covered. Collins just couldn't find an open man, and really, because the offensive line did a pretty good job of keeping them. Watch here, they're blitzing on the outside with 55. Coryat picked up pretty well, but you can't sit back there for 5, 6, 7 seconds without somebody breaking free.
Tommy Barnhart deep to punt once again for Carolina. Ray Buchanan waits this time at his 16-yard line. Barnhart with better field position. He gets away a high, deep kick. Buchanan calls for the fair catch and makes it at his 15-yard line, and there's a flag on the field. 8 minutes, 47 seconds to go in the first period. 45-yard punt by Barnhart. This time the call goes against Indianapolis after the first 3 penalties for 25 yards had gone against the Panthers. Archie Broda looking on.
Well, what happens is in a punting situation, as a defender, you're supposed to delay any of the coverage guys as long as you can. Keep them on the line of scrimmage so they can't go downfield and make the tackle. Sometimes some of these defenders aren't very good at blocking. They're just not used to doing it, so they grab on.
Holding by the receiving team, number 40 during the kick. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So as the Colts get ready to start their offense from inside their own 10-yard line, leading 7-0, we'll be back.
We have the Colts offense coordinator, Lindy Infante, who really restructured this offense around Jim Harbaugh and Marshall Faulk.
And the second Colt possession begins from Indianapolis's 8-yard line. Crowd making some noise to try to fire up the Panther defense. Marshall Faulk carries for 3 out to the 11-yard line. Mike Fox on the stop for Carolina. Stay tuned to NBC tonight for a special called Extremely Weird. No, Bob, it's not a tape show with you and me.
They're not extending our thing here.
And it is. And it's followed by must-see comedy hits, I should say. Mad About You and Hope and Gloria, plus the powerful world premiere movie event, Shadow of a Doubt, starring Brian Dennehy, here on NBC tonight. Extremely Weird, Mad About You, Hope and Gloria, Sunday night movie Shadow of a Doubt. Keep it right here after NFL football. And father and son golf. Harbaugh on first down throws a possible interception behind intended receiver Floyd Turner.
Well, the Panthers had slid up on the outside. They brought Brett Maxey coming up on the outside for a blitz. You'll see him coming from the right side of your screen, but Harbaugh, seeing the blitz, wants to hit his hot route. But as you can see, just kind of inaccurate. He's got to pull the ball up and get rid of it, and a lot of times that timing on the receiver isn't always right.
Maxey, 6 interceptions to lead the National Football Conference. Third down, 7 yards to go after the run by Falk and the incomplete throw from Harbaugh. Panthers trying to bring pressure, but a perfect throw from Harbaugh to Turner, and first down yardage for the Colts at the 20-yard line.
Well, they blitzed on the inside, and that's one of the things that the Colts expected from the Carolina Panthers. They said they have a lot of linebacker dogs. You're going to see the backers blitzing on the inside, which unless the safeties are able to get up there and cover, it's very difficult for a safety. You see 25, Bubba McDowell pretty much has the middle zone all by himself. A lot of area to cover for one guy.
Turner gave up about 3 stripes to turn 12-yard gain into 9, but nevertheless stayed in front of the chain for a first down. So Harbaugh gets a little breathing room at the 20. Here's Falk with a window and a gain of about 4 out to the 24-yard line. At Terrell, number 40 was there along with Carlton Bailey, number 54.
Well, Falk is a guy, you know, they've talked about him, and a lot of people have made comments that he's not having the 100-yard games, and so in general terms, they're saying he's not having a good year. Well, there's been 3 times in recent games that he's had 95, 96, 98 yards, as you can see there in our graphic, that, you know, he's come so close to 100 yards, and from my standpoint, just as good.
Broke a 40-yarder late against the Dolphins last week for his longest run of the year. Fullback Roosevelt Potts has been averaging more than 5 yards per carry. This time Greg Cragen wraps him up. After a gain of a couple, it'll be third down 4.
Well, Greg Cragen is not one of the bigger guys in the NFL anymore. He's kind of the old style nose tackle. They brought him in from Kansas City after he spent a number of years with the Denver Broncos and went to 3 Super Bowls with them. But Cragen, a Pro Bowl nose tackle, just doesn't kind of fit that prototype of that middle interior defensive lineman anymore. Now they're 300 plus.
And he's 267. Jumping offside is number 98, Gerald Williams.
So Roosevelt Potts may have outweighed him on that one.
Williams, one of several former Steelers here on Dom Capers' Carolina roster.
Well, he was a good player with the Steelers.
Encroachment by the defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Big call against the Panthers. First down for the Colts across the 30.
Well, Williams has a lot of experience. You're going to see him just as the offensive linemen kind of have that little up and down set. It just Gerald wound just a little bit too tightly on that play. It just explodes off the ball. But, you know, so much of these defenses now are getting off on the ball, anticipating the count, and getting penetration. You're going to see a lot more of this.
First down at the 31-yard line now. Falk is the lone setback behind Harbaugh. Harbaugh throwing along the left sideline to 87, Sean Dawkins. Rod Smith, Tim McKyer, I should say, there on the coverage, but Dawkins makes the catch and is close to another Colt first down.
Well, Dawkins is a guy that's really helped him out so far, and I'll tell you what, Harbaugh likes him because of his size. At 6'4", yeah, you can't beat a big target, especially a guy when he starts going up. He's working up against, you know, 5'10", 5'11" cornerbacks. A 6'4" guy can go up and get the ball. Is a nice, comfortable guy to throw to.
The extremely outspoken Tim McKyer, covering Dawkins there, number 22, said to us yesterday, "I don't like playing all this zone I have to play in our defense. I want to go up and grapple man-to-man with the guys." And you see there that the Colts are about 3 inches short of first down yardage. They'll have second and inches coming up. McKyer is never bashful. I said, have you found a home here in Carolina? You like it? You're going to continue playing here? He said, I'm a free agent at the end of this year. You get the message?
You know, after you get done talking with McKyer, you really don't have to worry that you've missed anything. He's pretty much filled you in just about every aspect of his life and career.
Secretive, yeah. McKyer still feeling the sting of the touchdown pass he surrendered to Tony Martin in the closing moments of Pittsburgh's AFC Championship game against the Chargers at the end of last season. Second down and inches for the Colts. Potts and Falk in an I setup behind Harbaugh, and this is Marshall Faulk with plenty of room and a gain of about 4, and another Indianapolis first down before Sam Mills made the stop for the Panthers.
You know, I've got to think that that the Panthers were anticipating the Colts may have been trying something besides a run up the middle. They lined up in their base 3-4 defense. The inside linebackers were 4.5 yards off the line of scrimmage. When you got like 6 inches to go, that's a heck of a long way for a linebacker to come and stop it. I think they were anticipating that Harbaugh may have come out to fool them and hit him with a little dump pass.
So the Colts pick up their 3rd first down of the drive out at the 45. Pitch to Faulk. Marshall cuts it back to the middle, and there you see that excellent Carolina run defense. Sam Mills making the stop on Faulk. Generally speaking, for the Panthers, when they stop the run, they win. In their 5 victories, they have yielded 57+ yards per game rushing. In their 7 losses, the number is 129.
And you see Mills here. They'd run a stunt with Lamar Latham, who had come up and made a nice play and running in and taking out the lead blocker and Zach Crockett, which kind of freed up Mills to run unimpeded to make the tackle.
No gain for Faulk on first down, 2nd down 10. Football at the 45-yard line. Clock running, 4 minutes to go in the first period. Colts lead 7-0. Carolina showing blitz and bringing it. Harbaugh steps away, but not far enough. Dalton Bailey, number 54, with help from Sam Mills, number 51, and Bailey was chasing Harbaugh from before the snap.
Well, you got to put a lot of. Obviously, we're going to give the credit to Bailey and Mills, who worked a nice blitz up on the inside. And watch them; they're working their butts off through a lot of traffic in there to come and make the play. But you got to put a lot of credit to the coverage guys too. With that many guys blitzing, that many guys coming, you got to be locked up 1-to-1 out there and really take away the receiver so Harbaugh can't throw the ball.
Interesting blitz. Bailey and Mills coming through the same door. It's 3rd down, 15 yards to go. Football at the 41. Harbaugh out of the shotgun. Plenty of time. Wide open receiver. Aaron Bailey is inside the Panther 30 and out of bounds at the 26-yard line before Pat Terrell made the stop, and another big play by Jim Harbaugh.
Well, Jim unflustered by being sacked on the last play, and you're going to see here Harbaugh just sitting right there, really very comfortable in the pocket. Look at the nice pocket forms around him. Dumps the ball off to Aaron Bailey, who really has come on and been very productive for them. They brought in Flipper Anderson early in the preseason, hoping that he would be the big play guy for them. But injuries forced other guys to step up, and you see Aaron Bailey's number there.
23-yard gain, a Harbaugh to Bailey. First down for the Colts at the 26-yard line of Carolina. Roosevelt Potts with the football, and Potts pounds forward for a gain of about 3 down to the 23-yard line. Carlton Bailey with another tackle for Carolina.
That's what you call keeping them honest on the inside. The Panthers are so aggressive up front. You got to throw somebody like Potts up into the middle to really kind of slow them down a little bit.
Indianapolis Colts under Ted Marchibroda, gradually improving both offensively and defensively. You see where they rank now. 11th in the league in total offense, 5th in the league in defense. This from a franchise that was largely in shambles 3 years ago. Harbaugh gives to Faulk, breaks the first tackle, but is nailed on the second by Tyrone Poole. Carlton Bailey also there, and they hold Faulk short of first down yardage. It'll be 3rd down coming up.
Good job as they string the Carolina Panthers defense, kind of strings out the run. You see the pulling guard and tackle from the backside. Sam Mills again slashing in from the inside to really take away from the upfield turn. He couldn't get his hip turn, couldn't turn upfield. You see here Sam Mills just kind of at 5'9". I guess you can sneak through a couple of blockers, but really being a very disruptive force here early, and Poole making a lot of good plays.
3rd down 6, 13th play of a Colt drive that began inside the Indianapolis 10-yard line. Panthers showing blitz again and getting to Harbaugh. And this time it's Mike Fox, number 93, who got there first. Brett Maxey, number 39, the strong safety, was also there to arrive.
Well, they snuck Maxey up late, right before the snap, and you got to figure that the offensive lineman saw him coming and just kind of slipped off, and as they went and had the indecision about who to block, Maxey or Fox, he got caught between both of them, and both guys came clear.
So now Gardocki comes on to hold, and Carey Blanchard the kick, as the Colts will attempt a 47-yard field goal. Bradford bances the snapper. Blanchard's kick is up and good. And with 50 seconds remaining in the first period, the Colts, with a sustained drive, extend their lead from 7 to 10-0 over Carolina. There's a link between the Colts and the Panthers. Centers around one man. There he is, number 87, catching a touchdown pass from Johnny Unitas. Golden arm, number 19, in the 1959 NFL Championship game, won by the Colts against the New York Giants. Here he is today as the owner, founder, and driving force behind the introduction of the Carolina Panthers into the National Football League. Jerry Richardson of Wofford College, former Colts Panther owner. And now after a 47-yard field goal by Cary Blanchard, the kickoff sails to number 34, Dino Filyaw, and Filyaw is knocked down by Zach Crockett after a 23-yard return. The Panthers will begin their third possession on offense at the 25-yard line, trailing 10-0.
You know, the thing we've seen with the Panthers in the past, you look at some of the numbers of the wide receivers. Last week, Willie Green, 4 catches for 105 yards. You got Mark Carrier, 6 catches for 132 yards. They really have changed, going from that long passes last week into a more of a ball control, short passing game this week.
Still haven't seen Bob Christian back in the lineup. There he is. So Christian comes back onto the field, and the Panthers are once again with a fullback. And luckily so, as Christian falls on Derek Moore's fumble and saves possession for the Panthers. Quentin Coriat, number 55, was there to make the hit for the Colts.
Great job by Coriat. He's kind of the trail guy. He's coming from the backside. A lot of times you leave him unblocked because he's got too far. Number 55, you're going to see coming from the right side of your screen. Sometimes they don't block him, so he's got a long way to run. But, you know, when the guy's hustling, he's going to go there and make a play just like he does in that play.
It winds up being gain of 4 for the Colts, or for the Panthers, I should say. As you look at Coriat, Christian goes in motion, second down, 6, flags down. That'll be the end of the first period. So, with the Panthers in possession at their own 29-yard line, facing 2nd and 6 and trailing 10-0 at the end of the first quarter, the NFL on NBC returns after this. Back in Clemson, South Carolina, second quarter begins with Carolina Panthers in possession for the third time in the football game. The Colts took advantage of a possession in Carolina territory. Got a 31-yard touchdown pass from Harbaugh to Dawkins, and then a field goal. They lead 10-0. Kerry Collins, wide open receiver deep, gets it downfield, and Gulliford, or check it, Carrier, number 83, is into Indianapolis territory at the 41-yard line. A 31-yard pickup on the throw from Collins.
Well, Ashley Ambrose is out of the corner, left side of your screen. He beats Ambrose, gets over past him, and Belzer just can't get over in time to make the play. But the key there, Carrier beating Ambrose and to the sidelines, you have to give him a lot of room to get that ball thrown in. And you see, Kerry Collins does have some good control in the long game, although erratic.
Meanwhile, back in Carolina territory, there's a Panther player being attended to by trainers on the field. I think it's one of the offensive linemen. And as number 64, Curtis Whitley, walks back to look at his teammate, it's number 78, Blake Brockemeyer, getting up. Quickly, let's check in with Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Jim, we'll take you to Pittsburgh. If Jim Harbaugh isn't the hottest quarterback in the AFC, maybe it's Neil O'Donnell who gets the ball to Yancey Thigpen here. He does the rest. 33 yards and a touchdown with the extra point. They've now gone to the second quarter at Three River Stadium. Steelers lead the Houston Oilers 7-0. Jim?
Thank you very much, Greg. The Steelers trying to clinch the AFC Central today. There was a moment early in the season when you wouldn't have thought that was possible, Bob Golic. Now first down for the Panthers at the 41-yard line of Indianapolis. The give to Derek Moore, and this time Moore holds on to the football as he pounds across the 40 to about the 38-yard line. 61, Tony McCoy getting up from the bottom of the pile. Along with Quentin Coriat, number 55.
Good hit by Coriat at the end of the play. Nice job early on. 59, Stephen Grant really sliced into kind of redirect the running back, but it was Coriat who came in and made a nice stick right in the chest. Good textbook tackle.
Derek Moore, number 20, coming back to duty after 3 weeks off with a sprained right knee. He still believes a 1,000-yard season isn't out of the question for him. Collins on second down, throws complete to the tight end Walter Rasby, and Rasby has first down yardage inside the 30 to the 28. Jason Belser made the stop for the Colts.
Good play action pass, faking the pitch to the left side of your screen. He's going to boot it back the other way. It's Collins and Rasby, the only guys. The defense just having to react back to it. You see Buchanan being sucked downfield by number 84 Eric Gulliford. Good play by the Panthers.
And another first down for Carolina. This time at the 27-yard line of Indianapolis. Rasby in motion behind Collins. The give to Moore, and Moore slices down to the 22. 55 Coriat again there, along with 49 David Tate, but a good gain on first down. It'll be second down 4 for Carolina.
Good job. They ran kind of a version of the counter tray OT inside. You're going to see number 65 Frank Garcia pulling around. He gets a nice seal block right there on 54 Jeff Harrod. Really a good play by Frank Garcia in that block.
Gary Collins in a hot streak has completed 5 of his past 6 for Carolina. Second down 4, the give to Moore. Good running room for Moore, and first down yardage as a flag goes down. And Moore finds his way down to the 16 before Jeff Harrod made the stop for Indianapolis.
Well, I bring up Frank Garcia's name, and that time it looked like his arms were kind of wrapped around somebody.
Gonna call it against the Colts.
Oh, against the, wow.
A look at Dom Capers. Last year, regarded as one of the league's reigning strategic geniuses, as he ran the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Defense number 98, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Ball is against Tony Siragusa.
Very strange. Not often you see a defensive lineman called for holding. You see him right there, 98. Siragusa up against Garcia. Oh, nice to see. I caught the end of it when Garcia's hands were around him. But yeah, the job of Siragusa on that play is to keep Garcia from getting to the linebacker. And what happened is Garcia got off the ball just a little bit quicker than Tony Siragusa would have liked. Figured, I better stop him or I'm in trouble tomorrow.
That's your old position, Bob.
Well, Tony, you're in trouble tomorrow anyway.
Ball in the 11, first down, halfback pass. Intercepted. Ray Buchanan. And Buchanan elects to go down to one knee after, at first, looking for room to run out of the end zone.
Well, Ray Buchanan not adverse to a little drama trying to bring it out, but nice play. Watch here.
This is Eric Gulliford who's going to make the throw, Bob.
Collins giving to Gulliford. Good coverage. And Gulliford, obviously not a guy who's used to reading coverages, throws into a double.
It'll be Colt football when we come back.
Oh, there you see Eric Gulliford sitting on the sidelines, number 84, the thrower of the interception.
The perpetrator. On first down, Panthers are blitzing. Falk has trouble holding on to the handoff and then busts it forward for a gain of about 5 to the 25-yard line. This all comes after Ray Buchanan's interception of Eric Gulliford's flanker pass into the end zone intended for Mark Carrier, and he threw a beauty into double coverage, Bob.
And Eric, I don't know what you're looking at, man, but you're a receiver. You know that it's no fun working against double coverage. and there you can see there's defenders all over the place. I guess Eric Gulliford just figured, hey, my job is to throw the ball. I'm just going to get it up there.
That's right.
Hey, Carrier, work for it.
Buchanan says, wouldn't take no for an answer, would he? After a 6-yard gain by Falk on first down, Lamont Warren in motion, the give to Falk. And Falk fights toward the chain. Will come up about a foot short of first down yardage. It will be 3rd and short after Tyrone Poole made the stop for the Panthers.
Boy, Falk is just pounding away, just trying to get himself established. And as we said, he's had quite a few 100-yard and almost 100-yard days, and he has become the workhorse for these guys. But they're expecting him to do more than just go out there and run the ball. As I said earlier in the game today, he is being called on more to catch receptions out of the backfield. They also like to move him around like Seattle uses Chris Warren, sliding out in the slot and as a wide receiver sometimes.
3rd down and a foot. Falk with the football again, and Falk falling forward across the 30 to the 31-yard line. So it's going to be 9 carries for 26 yards to this point. He's working hard for his yards, but the Colts believe if they stick with the running game, sooner or later he'll pop one, as he did against the Dolphins last week.
And it's going to be difficult to me. Carlton Bailey came up and made a nice hit on this. You're going to, as we see it again, Potts lead blocking, taking a nice shot. They're trying to get a shot at Carlton Bailey, but Bailey just not getting an angle. And you can see, as you said before, Marshall Falk definitely will be working for his yardage today.
Well, he was hit 2 yards short of the first down marker and got it there to maintain possession for the Colts. You see the number on first down conversions this season when the football's in the hands of Marshall Falk. A lot of movement at the line of scrimmage and plenty of flags down as the play is whistled dead.
Well, there was an interesting matchup had that play continued.
False start by the offense, number 85, prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, it remains first down.
That's Ken Dilger, the rookie tight end out of Illinois.
But number 87, Sean Dawkins, was split out to the right side, and Lamar Lathan, the linebacker, had slid out on him. Looked like he had him in man-to-man coverage. I don't think that that's a matchup that the Panthers want to get too often.
So it's first down 15 now with the football back at the 25-yard line. Panther linebackers move to the outside and blitz from there. Harbaugh is caught again. This time it's Darian Conner, number 56, with the big play from the weak side.
But they are just coming. We were told coming in that they love to blitz. They love the linebacker dogs. You're going to see the linebackers, they had slid out to the outside just prior to the snap. Both backs had stayed in to match protect. But Darian Conner just manhandling his blocker.
Panther defense under head coach Dom Capers and defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, and you can see where they rank. First in the league in takeaways, tied for third in yards per rush against. Only one running back all year has gotten 100 yards against them, and Falk's going to have a tough time doing it today. Another blitz on 3rd and 20, and Harbaugh will play it safe as he goes down at the 16-yard line in the arms of number 96, Sean King.
Well, Sean may have gotten the blitz, but again, it was a linebacker, Carlton Bailey. Watch him. He's going to blitz up the middle and really disrupt Harbaugh's throw. Harbaugh's not going to get a chance to look downfield. Right now, he's just trying to recover and get out of trouble. But it's Sean King who comes in and cleans up.
Well, when you think of what Capers did defensively down in New Orleans for Jim Mora, in Pittsburgh with Bill Cowher, you think of variety. And they have shown Harbaugh the kitchen sink so far today. 3 of 4 on 3rd down for the Colts, but this one is 3rd and 23 for Harbaugh. And the throw is well short of the receiver, and for the moment, the Panther rush is getting to Jim Harbaugh. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Jim, they're expecting an aerial display in Green Bay. Jeff Blake holds up his part of the bargain. 54 yards to the AFC's leading receiver, Carl Pickens. It set up a Doug Pelfrey field goal, and in the second quarter, the Bengals and the Packers are tied at 3, Jim.
All right, thanks, Greg. Boy, Blake can throw it deep, can't he?
Boy, he really has developed into the premier guy in the league, hasn't he?
Chris Gardocki, Clemson University zone, kicking from inside his 5-yard line. High spiraling kick taken by Gulliford, and Gulliford gets it from his 31 up to about the 39. So the Panthers will have 61 yards between themselves and the Colt end zone as they take over. Indianapolis leading 10-0 as the NFL on NBC continues.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Acura, who introduces the Acura SLX, the most civilized way to leave civilization. By McDonald's, have you had your break today? By the Citizen Watch Company. Citizen is how the world tells time. And by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
.8:18 to go before halftime after Chris Gardocki's 53-yard punt for the Colts and Eric Gulliford's 8-yard return for the Panthers. The Panthers start with the football at their own 40-yard line, trailing 10-0. Their last possession took them to the Colt 10, where an interception on a flanker pass thwarted the scoring try, and now Collins' first down pass is batted down by Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett just comes in, didn't get a whole lot of penetration, but jumped up at the line. Problem is, when you're locked up with an offensive lineman, you're supposed to jump up, try to knock the ball down, but you got to worry about those old linemen trying to finish the playoff.
Bennett's not going to like Brockermeyer if he keeps going at his legs like that on the come down.
He knows it's not personal. All the offensive linemen do that.
3 sacks for Bennett last week against Dan Marino and Richmond Webb, Miami's prize left tackle. Second down here. The give is to Derek Moore, and Moore running hard today, coming back from the knee injury that kept him out for 3 weeks. Has a gain of about 7. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Panthers. Next Saturday, following, no, this is coming up next. And let's see if we can find it. Here you go. Coming up after the game, it's the conclusion of the Office Depot Father-Son Challenge. Our own Johnny Miller joining golf legends Lee Trevino, Raymond Floyd, and others as they team up with their sons for final day action. That's next on NBC, the Office Depot Father-Son Challenge. And now it's 3rd down 3 for the Panthers. Collins throws in the flat to Christian, bobbles, holds on, and drags a Colt tackler far enough to pick up a Panther first down.
Well, good control and good awareness by Kerry Collins. Again, the Colts deciding, hey, you can blitz, we can blitz too. They started to bring some pressure on the outside, picked up nicely by the offensive line. Kerry Collins just dropping the ball off to Christian, who, well, didn't look like the best hands in the world, but he had the time to get a hold of the ball and drag a defender with him.
It was Ray Buchanan who was holding on for the proverbial dear life as Christian dragged him for the first down at the 45-yard line of the Colts. Carrier in motion behind Collins. The give is to Moore. Moore is this time stopped at the line of scrimmage by number 61, Tony McCoy of the Colts.
Now, number 95, Bernard Whittington and Tony McCoy both involved in that tackle. Again, they tried that counter tray OT with Garcia leading through, but said, hey, you fooled me once. Shame on me. Fool me twice. I'm going to get you. And they came in and they really got good penetration on that one.
Derek Moore comes to the sideline. 7 carries, 27 yards so far for Moore, the man who won the Panthers running back job from among 19 applicants who have been through the Panther organization so far this year. Now the no setback, 5-receiver spread formation on 2nd down 10 for the Panthers. Quick release from Collins, and it's batted out of bounds. The intended receiver was Whitestone, number 80, and Collins got whacked.
Collins just got killed. They brought Quentin Coriat, Stephen Grant, 59 and 55, and he just gets sandwiched between the two of these guys. Just crushed. But you know, that's what helps when you've got a guy who's 6'5" and a minimum 240-pound quarterback.
Yeah, he's listed at 240, and they say he's over 240.
I had a big dinner yesterday.
You know, you talked about Greg Cragen, 267 at nose tackle for him. He weighs less than 20 pounds more than the quarterback.
Oh, times they are changing.
3rd down 10, Colts showing blitz and apparently jumping early. 3 down for Collins, complete down the middle of number 86, Willie Green. Now let's see if it'll stand up. It was a great shot down the middle by Collins.
Well, as you can see, it looked like the defensive front for the Colts jumped. At that point, it's hard for them. They've got to try and get back and lined up again, but it takes away any kind of momentum, any kind of explosiveness off the line of scrimmage.
Offside by the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
34-yard completion down to the 11-yard line. Collins complete to Willie Green.
Now watch them as they jump and they get back. All of a sudden, they've lost that momentum. That explosiveness upfield gives them a little bit more time and space to find an open receiver. Nice throw and catch.
Green averaging over 17 yards per catch. Most explosive of the Panther receivers. He's thrived since they moved him from a starting position to the number 3 wideout spot. Likes being on the field in those 3rd and long situations. Rasby in motion behind Collins, and flags go down again.
Number 87, Matthew Campbell, the tight end, the second tight end there besides Walter Rasby, jumped a little early.
False start by the offense, number 87 before the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
He's going to be on the right side of the offensive line right there. You can see him just get a little lurch. Bernard Whittington pointing at him going, he's the one. They kind of tell you sometimes to go up and tag the guy. but and let him know that the referees know that he's the one that jumped. But sometimes if you stand up and do that and they snap the ball, you got some major problems. He's going to drive you about 10 yards back.
So now it'll be 1st and 15 from the 16-yard line. Kerry Collins, 8 of 13 in the game for 108 yards. Christian with a hole inside the 5-yard line, or inside the 10, down to the 7.
Man, the Colts tried to bring a linebacker up on the inside. I think they brought Jeff Harrod right up inside. And at that point, you're going to see here, good blocking up front. Harrod gets picked up, and Christian just finds a nice spot right over the left guard, leaping over the bodies that were kind of littered up front. Good movement by Christian.
Don't let my enthusiasm fool you. He didn't make it inside the 5. He's inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. You can see the difficulties that the Panthers have had getting touchdowns on their penetrations inside the 20. Derek Moore takes it down to the goal line here.
Well, if they stick with this approach, running the ball and doing what they did during the course of the drive, instead of trying to throw the halfback pass down to the red zone, they should have more success.
The former Lion, Derek Moore, getting it down to the 1-yard line. Measurement upcoming. They can make a first down without making the touchdown.
Once again, Garcia pulling around, getting a great block on Jeff Harrod. I'll tell you what, Frank Garcia, the number 65, the offensive lineman, doing a great job today in his blocks.
Tony Bennett accomplished what amounted to a shoestring tackle there, barely getting a hand on Moore's shoe. That's all that kept Derek Moore from going into the end zone. And you see, he's a couple of inches short of a first down. So this will make it 3rd down and a yard to go. So they get 15 yards in effect on 2 running plays, but because of the penalty, still have not picked up the first down or the touchdown. Big play upcoming for the Panther offense. 2 tight ends on the field. Now Campbell, number 87, splits out wide to the left. No setback behind Collins as Christian goes in motion, and the rookie QB tries to sneak it in and has the touchdown.
Well, as we said before, that 6'5" with a minimum of 240 pounds behind you, you're going to have a little bit more success as a quarterback sneak than some of the other quarterbacks will.
No, he can move the pile.
He can move the pile by himself. Great job. What they did is they lined up the receivers. They split everybody out, hoping to move the linebackers out from the middle of the field. That way, taking away some of the aggressiveness on the inside, giving Collins a little bit better percentage of success at getting in the end zone.
Former Seattle Seahawk John Casey comes on to try to kick the extra point, knocks it through. And with 4 minutes, 15 seconds left in the first half, the Carolina Panthers are on the board, narrowing Indianapolis's margin to 10-7. NFL on NBC continues. Gary Collins with headset on, discussing his quarterback sneak touchdown with the staff upstairs, saying, look, I think it's a good play at midfield. I think it's a good play anywhere we run it.
Well, he's going to get his yardage, man. The 200. But we're gonna say 250 from now on, because he's a big boy.
Well, I don't know. It's a warm enough day. Temperature in the low 60s here in December in Clemson, South Carolina. And now Casey kicks it off. He's been having some high short kickoffs, but no such problem this time. It's taken by Aaron Bailey, and Bailey was down before the football came loose. So though the crowd goes nuts, the Colts will hold on to the ball and will start the offense from their 22-yard line when we come back.
They see reserve linebacker number 53, Paul Butcher, coming down on the kickoff. Number 40, Ray McElroy, going to be here. Try to hold him. You're not going to stop a big guy like Butcher when he's got momentum. Make a nice tackle on Aaron Bailey. A little look inside the pits in the kickoff coverage.
Paul Butcher of Hermosa Beach, California, leads the Panthers with 17 special teams tackles. First down for the Colts from the 22-yard line. Panthers have been getting the heat on Harbaugh. They do so again. He completes to Rosie Potts, but Potts is ridden out of bounds by Carlton Bailey. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. Let's go to Greg in New York.
All right, Jim, at Pittsburgh, you remember Mike Ditka was saying in the pregame show how he likes what Jeff Fisher is doing in Houston. Chris Chandler to one of the AFC's fine rookies, Chris Sanders, 76 yards and a touchdown. And with the extra point, the Oilers pull even with the Steelers at 7 in the second quarter, Jim.
Jim, I saw their game last week against the Broncos. Chandler and the Oilers can be so explosive. 42 points on offense last week.
Another blitz for Carolina. Harbaugh delivers the football. Open receiver is Sean Dawkins. Dawkins gives up a yard and maybe a yard short of the first down with the football at the 32-yard line. Tim McKyer was the defensive back working against Dawkins, and another completion for Harbaugh. They'll take a close look to see how close they are to the first down.
Now, Harbaugh looks like he might be limping just a little bit out there. I don't know if he took a shot from somebody, but you're noticing he's not holding the ball back in the pocket that as long as he had early in the game.
You talk about a quarterback like Chris Chandler emerging for the Oilers. Harbaugh's performance has to give confidence to a lot of quarterbacks in the league who struggled over recent years. If this guy can suddenly become, as Mike Ditka calls him, the AFC's most valuable player, there's hope for a lot of people. Falk leaning forward toward the first down marker and appears to have it across the 33-yard line.
Well, without a doubt, Harbaugh has been the guy that has really come out of nowhere. I mean, I was talking to him yesterday, and I was trying to be nice about how I phrased it. I said, what's been the difference from what you were before? And I was very wordy about it. And he goes, I know what you're trying to say. I get asked this all the time. Why don't I suck anymore? I said, oh, okay, Jim, if that's the way you want to put it. And he said, he really has had a chance to develop. Lindy Infante has helped him dramatically. But I love a quarterback who can be that self-effacing.
2-minute warning arrives as Harbaugh brings the Colts to the line of scrimmage. Lindy Infante, not quite as much of a genius so far this week as was the case a week ago. 2 minutes left in the first half at Clemson Memorial Stadium. Panthers trailing 10-7 coming up. Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Greg Gumbel, Joe Gibbs, Mike Ditka. All the scores and highlights of today's action around the league. On first down for the Colts, Jim Harbaugh's throw is short, intended for number 88, Floyd Turner.
Well, the inside backers once again both involved in a play. Turner covered by number 54, Carlton Bailey. Bailey making a great play breaking that up. But once again, Sam Mills blitzing up the middle, getting a shot on Harbaugh as he releases the ball. I'll tell you what, Jim Harbaugh is taking more of a beating today than I think he anticipated.
31-yard touchdown pass to Sean Dawkins on the Colts' first offensive possession. Since that time, the Panthers have used their blitz to harness Harbaugh and the Colts. Second down from the 32-yard line. Throws in the flat for Falk. Gets away from the first tackler, and it's not Falk, it's Lamont Warren, number 21. My mistake, Warren loose down the sideline before Brent Maxey and Lamar Lathan can run him out of bounds.
Just a short little pass out in the flat and to Lamont Warren, and the key here, Lamar Lathan comes up to make the hit, doesn't wrap it up. Warren keeping his feet and picking up a lot of extra yardage.
And Warren was able to pick up 11 yards on the play, so it's another Colt first down at the 44-yard line. Saw the numbers on Lamont Warren for the season. Harbaugh operating out of the shotgun. Carolina again with the blitz. Two backers coming, and Harbaugh throws it into the hands of number 71, Greg Cragen. Cragen inside the 20, knocked down at the 16-yard line. A 29-yard return of the interception by Cragen. A rare mistake by Harbaugh.
Well, somehow Cragen got matched up on Sean Dawkins. Now, actually what they do sometimes in defense, when you blitz a backer, you'll drop an interior lineman to kind of hold down a short underneath zone. A quarterback not anticipating that. Right there, he drops the ball, tries to drop the ball off to number 28, Marshall Falk. Greg Cragen dropping into the zone. When you drop a D lineman into that zone right there, you're just trying to fill a space basically. Don't expect him to make a big play, but right there, a bad throw right into the hands of Greg Cragen.
Only the fourth interception thrown by Jim Harbaugh this year. He's been the NFL leader in that category, having thrown only 3 coming in. It sets up the Panthers with a big scoring opportunity in the last 2 minutes of the first half. And Collins' pass is batted down by number 95, Bernard Whittington.
Well, he's releasing the ball. Kerry Collins is releasing the ball so quickly now that it's difficult for the defensive lineman to get the penetration to get out on him. Right now, the defensive line coaches for the Colts are saying, if you can't get the penetration, get in there, get your hands up. As we see Greg Cragen sitting on the sidelines, catching a little oxygen after the run back.
Yeah, I was going to say, fabulous Bobby G. Cragen plays your old position, and he just had an interception and a 29-yard return. How many times did you do that?
One time, 7 yards for a touchdown.
You're probably about as winded as Cragen is, too. On second down 10, the give is to number 23, Anthony Johnson. And Johnson has to hunt for a yard or so. It'll be third down upcoming for the Panthers. Ellis Johnson, rookie out of the University of Florida, number 62, making the play for the Colts.
Part of the success of the Colts defensive line is that they've been rotating 6 guys through. You've got Siragusa and McCoy on the inside as starters. Ellis Johnson, the rookie, the number 1 draft choice, comes in and spots him. But Ellis Johnson ends up playing about 50-55% of the time. At ends, you've got Tony Bennett, Bernard Whittington, but also 51 Trev Albert gets rotated through. Again, he's in there 50-55% of the time. So it really keeps some of the guys fresh and allows a different look up front.
And has helped the Colts to be as strong against the rush as they've been. And now Kerry Collins is going to use one of his timeouts, as with 50 seconds remaining, the Panthers are looking at a key third down 9 from the Colts 16. Dom Capers and staff on the Carolina sideline. You look at number 3 QB Jack Trudeau. A lot of people thought that the Panthers would go all year with their offense in the hands of veterans Frank Reich and Jack Trudeau. But after 3 games, Dom Capers said, what the heck, we're 0-3. Let's roll the dice with the rookie.
Well, you had to realize that they have Frank Reich, they had Don Beebe and Pete Metzelaars, guys that have worked together in Buffalo. What a great acquisition, but things have changed dramatically.
Third down 9. Panthers trying to make the most of a Greg Cragen interception. Pass is in and out of the hands of tight end Walter Rasby. Trev Alberts was there to make the play for the Colts.
Good play by Trev. Really reacting quickly on Rasby. Reading him, you're going to see Rasby on the right side of your screen, just at a short little cross in the middle, and Trev just reacting very quickly to make the play on the ball. Kerry Collins, being a young quarterback, threw the ball right into the numbers of Rasby instead of getting it away from Trev Albert's side.
Ultra safe call. They'd have had a hard time making the first down even if Rasby had held on. Now Casey from 34 yards out looking for his first field goal of the day, and it ties the game. So Capers and staff obviously choosing not to squander a scoring opportunity by trying anything risky. Went with the ultra safe curl pattern over the middle to the tight end that probably wouldn't have gotten the first down even if Rasby had held onto the ball. They were thinking field goal.
Right, they were thinking field goal. They wanted to get as close as possible, set it up in the middle of the field, but there was just too many people over the middle. They were not going to get any extra yardage out of that.
You know, next Sunday, Bob, NBC Sports presents another exciting NFL doubleheader starting at 12:30 p.m. Eastern with the NFL on NBC. Most of our audience will see a battle between 2 of the AFC's best, Cordell Stewart, Neil O'Donnell, Greg Lloyd and company, the Steelers, going west to Oakland for a battle with Tim Brown and the Raiders. In the early matchups, a lot of you will see Jim Kelly's Buffalo Bills. There's a look at Hostetler throwing to Tim Brown. A lot of you will see Jim Kelly's Buffalo Bills trying to contain Isaac Bruce and the St. Louis Rams. Some of you will see the Colts visiting the Jaguars. Then in the late game, that Steelers-Raiders showdown from Coliseum. Check your local listings for the games in your area on our NBC NFL doubleheader next Sunday.
Well, I'll tell you what, the AFC West, the Raiders, they have got 2 games coming up. A game later on today against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then next week against the Steelers. Boy, they have got their work cut out for them over the next 2 weeks in trying to get into the playoffs.
Still got your Raider jersey?
Of course. Haven't even washed it.
Think you can talk Allen to giving you some of that playoff money if they make it in?
Yeah, I got a half left in me if they want to play me.
John Casey kicks it away for the Panthers. Good high deep kickoff. Goes to the goal line. Aaron Bailey again, and Bailey is belted as he crosses the 20 and gets to about the 22. 17-yard return. 38 seconds remaining on the clock before halftime. Bubba McDowell downfield to make the stop on special teams for the Panthers, and they'll mark it right at the 21. Paul Butcher was close to making the stop again.
Once again, we talk about special teams and different techniques and stuff. All it comes down to is a guy with eyes like that, just looking, running downfield recklessly, making contact with anybody he can get a hold of. They're not necessarily making the tackle, but definitely causing some disruption. You need guys that can just fly down, don't care too much about their body.
And the Colts are going to play it safe. So given that the Panthers, thinking field goal, were apparently satisfied to be knotted up at halftime 10-10, the Colts and Ted Marchibroda say, all right, if 10-10's okay with you, Dom, 10-10's going to be okay with us. We'll let the clock run out, and we'll start the game again when the second half begins.
Start fresh, 0-0 at halftime, 30 minutes of play, and see who can win it.
Harbaugh and Indianapolis went up 10-0. Collins and the Panthers came back. Now stay tuned for Greg Gumbel and the Domino's Pizza halftime report. Coming up on the NFL on NBC after these messages from your local station.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be great and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
Welcome back, everyone. Along with Mike Ditka and Joe Gibbs, I'm Greg Gumbel. Let's run down scores and highlights for you as we have them, beginning with the game at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. At halftime, the Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals are tied at 10. It was a 3-3 tie when Jeff Blake pulled the Bengals even from 4 yards out to Carl Pickens, his 16th touchdown catch of the season, 10-3 Cincy. But with 6 seconds to play in the first half, Brett Favre, a rifle shot to Mark Ingram, 13 yards and a touchdown. 10-10 tie as they hit the break. Boy, take a look at the top quarterbacks throwing touchdown passes. Brett Favre and Jeff Blake right up there among them. There are going to be more fireworks to come, Joe.
Well, you'd have to think so, because both the quarterbacks are red hot on these teams, and yet the defenses. Green Bay has not been a good team this year at stopping people and getting turnovers. They've only have 11 for the year, none today. And certainly on the other side, Blake's playing great, but Cincinnati has the ability, just cannot stop people on defense.
Yeah, Brett Favre, 17 of 22, 184 yards in that touchdown pass so far today. They're tied at 10 at halftime. In Miami, the Dolphins trying to make things right again, but at halftime they trail the Atlanta Falcons 14-9 at Joe Robbie Stadium. In Carolina, the game that you are watching, the Colts and the Panthers are tied at halftime. And Mike, one of the things that you made mention of as we watch this game is that the Panther defense can beat up some people.
Well, what he's done, he's gone back to the same thing he used in Pittsburgh last year, and that's Don Capers. And what he's doing, he's blitzing people from the outside. He's screwing up the Indianapolis blocking, and then he's dropping linemen out. The one interception that Harbaugh threw was to a lineman, and they've sacked him 3 times. They're putting tremendous pressure on him. Unless that Indy offensive line can pick up that scheme, there are going to be a lot of problems.
Colts come in at 7-5. The Panthers at 5-7. They're tied at 10 at halftime. In Minnesota, the Vikings on a roll in the second quarter, lead Tampa Bay 28-7. Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. The Steelers lead the Houston Oilers at halftime by a score of 14-7. Kevin Green and the Steeler defense put on a show in the first quarter, holding the Oilers to just 9 total yards on offense, and they sacked Chris Chandler 3 times. That's Green doing the honors right there. On the last play of the first quarter, Neil O'Donnell to Yancey Thigpen, and watch Yancey go 33 yards for the touchdown. Thigpen, the first Steeler wide receiver since Louis Lips back in '85 to go over 1,000 yards receiving. Chandler got it back in one play, however. He goes deep for the fine rookie Chris Sanders, who beats Carnell Lake 76 yards and a touchdown to tie it at 7. But before halftime, Neil O'Donnell from the 11-yard line finds tight end Mark Bruner. That's a touchdown. 14-7. Pittsburgh is the lead. They have gone to halftime at Three Rivers Stadium. At the Meadowlands, the St. Louis Rams lead the New York Jets 7-0, approaching the break there. And in New England, the Patriots are trailing the Saints in the second quarter, 17-14. When we come back, we'll hear from Marcus Allen of the Chiefs. Kansas City can clinch the AFC West with a win over the Raiders today. First, we'll take a break for these words from your local station.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be great and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
Later today, the Chiefs and the Raiders renew their rivalry with Kansas City, looking to clinch the AFC West with a win. If they do, it will be sweet for former Raider Marcus Allen. I talked with him earlier this week. About the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult not to.
When the day comes, does Marcus Allen go into the Hall of Fame as a Kansas City Chief or as a Raider?
Well, I'm going in as a Chief, but I think most people will remember me and recognize me as a Raider. But these last couple of years have been the most important of my life because it was a rebirth for me. Because prior to that, football was become extremely miserable for me, and I think the only person that was really hurting was myself. Even though I shouldn't say I was forced into that, but it was made difficult for me. So
you're saying there's a renewed enthusiasm?
Oh yeah, I mean I really didn't earlier. I really didn't give a damn about. I mean I almost was going through the motions, which was totally uncharacteristic of me. But that's how down I was about playing out there.
15,000 career yards for Marcus Allen.
Do you want to play more football after this season?
Oh, I still have the fire, yeah. And it's burning bright. Before I started playing, I was going to say, well, how long am I going to play? 10 years to be great, right? And then I get out and I do something else. Well, you know what? It goes by so quickly. Sometimes I say to myself, man, what the hell am I doing? When are you going to call it quits? You know, when I was a rookie, it was like, you know, played on Sunday, and I felt fine on Tuesday. You know, now it's like play on Sunday and I'm still struggling on Saturday, you know. There is a lot of animosity towards each other, and there's always, I guess, an intense rivalry, and there's always been some character or some players or whatever that sort of added to it and sort of perpetuated the rivalry. And obviously the last couple of years things have gone the Chiefs' way, and they don't like that.
Has this become a more intense matchup for you personally?
Well, the game is special to me. It means a great deal. But once again, I won't let it overshadow what my team is trying to accomplish. We're in a position, I think, for the first time to really realize a dream of ours, and that's to go all the way. And they're in the way, and we can't let anything stand in our way.
You know, most people think of Marcus Allen as a former Oakland Raider, but this will be the first game that Marcus has ever played in Oakland. He was the first draft pick ever of the Los Angeles Raiders. Joe Gibbs, we know what you think of Marcus Allen whenever you think of him.
Every year, would he please retire Marcus? Every year, that double back play in the '83 Super Bowl, I'd have another Super Bowl ring if it wasn't for this guy. As a coach, though, Greg, I think in analyzing players, you think back to the Walter Paytons that Mike had. And the thing that I admire about Marcus Allen and Walter Payton is the fact that not only with the ball under their arm, but they also are great players when it comes to blocking and short yardage goal line runners. They're complete all-around players.
Yeah, you've had your experiences with Marcus, too.
You know, in 1984, I preached to our ball club, to be a great team, you had to beat the great teams. The Raiders were a great football team at that time. And we played them in Soldier Field in the most physical football game I ever watched. We knocked out Mark Wilson. They knocked out Jim McMahon. Their next quarterback was going to be Ray Guy. I mean, and he was scared to death. But this guy, Marcus Allen, stood up to our guys on every play, every down. He was the toughest guy on the field, including all the guys I had.
And the Kansas City Chiefs will say Marcus Allen is their leader on the field. We'll take a time out here. Our NFL on NBC halftime activities continue.
We bring you back to Clemson, South Carolina, where it's knotted up at halftime. Indianapolis Colts 10, Carolina Panthers 10. Jim Lampley along with the fabulous Bobby G, Bob Golic, and so far, this is a Panther kind of a game.
Right. There's two things that need to happen when the Panthers are going to win. One is they've got to keep their turnovers down to a minimum. They only have one so far. And secondly, their defense has to shut down the opponent's running game. Right now, there's only 31 yards of rushing for the Colts offense.
And when the Panthers have been able to do that so far this season, they've been able to win their games. Coors Light halftime stats show you Indianapolis with, as Bob said, the 31 rushing yards. Carolina getting 108 passing yards from a controlled Kerry Collins.
And that's one of the things we also talked about with Kerry Collins. you just don't know who's going to show up. And that's what Vince Tobin told us when we talked to him yesterday, the defensive coordinator for the Colts. He said he's a very good quarterback. It's just kind of scary because you just don't know which quarterback's going to show up. The guy that's going to kill you with 3 or 4 touchdowns, or the guy's going to go 3 or 4 interceptions.
What do the Colts need to do offensively to get more movement against this Panther defense?
Well, see, even Sam Mills said that with the attack style, the blitzing of their defense, it opens them up to big plays. The Colts are going to have to find some way to make the big plays. And, you know, as we talked about, perhaps start getting the ball off to Marshall Faulk in the flat. Get him the ball out in the open, let him work his running magic.
Aaron Bailey with the kickoff. Terrific kickoff coverage for the Panthers, something they worked on during the week, and it pays off here as they nail Bailey inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. It was number 25, Bubba McDowell, downfield again for Carolina, along with Dwight Stone. They made the play, and here comes Harbaugh. And you see his numbers on the season. He's been the best second-half quarterback. He was particularly the best fourth-quarter quarterback in the NFL so far in this game. 7 of 11 for 102 yards, 1 interception, bothered by the blitz. First down for the Colts from their 18-yard line. The give is to Marshall Faulk. Faulk gets outside and has a gain of about 3. Second down 7.
And it looks like like we said, they want to go to Marshall Faulk. They know that if he can have success, it really opens up the passing game. But the Carolina defense, watch here how the Carolina defense just strings them out. You're going to see Lamar Lathan come through first, right there, making a play. Faulk being able to twist his hips to avoid the tackle, but Brett Maxey and number 54 Carlton Bailey coming over to make the play, but really good job of stringing Marshall Faulk out. They're going to have to get the ball to him in a different way than just handing it off.
Second down 8 with the football at the 20-yard line. Faulk without a pass reception in the game. This time they split him out wide. Harbaugh gets away from the first man and then is dumped. And it's number 56, Darian Connor, and it's the 3rd sack of the game for the Panthers.
And they are and this is one of the things that offensively, Lindy Infante is just dreaded. He said, I asked him, I said, you've got an expansion team here. Is it easier to prepare for these guys? He goes, no. He goes, we had to spend extra time in preparing for them. They show so many different fronts, so many different looks, and with all the blitzes they come with and all the linebacker dogs that they have, he goes, it just makes it very difficult. We had to spend extra time working on it this week, and evidently the Panthers did too.
Good look at Connor. The Panthers got a rush from down lineman Sean Price on that last play. Now Harbaugh steps up out of the pocket, scrambles looking for first down yardage, and they'll stop him well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Open field tackle by Darian Connor.
And just stoned as he came up the middle. That wasn't like he just got tripped or slid down. You're going to see him step up in the pocket. It opens up there. And Harbaugh, who in the past has been a guy that has pulled the ball down and tried to run with it, watch there between Sam Mills and Darian Connor, just gets crushed. Not the kind of tackle you like to see your quarterback getting hit with.
So the Colts find no answers on their first possession of the second half. And coming on to boot it away is Gardocki. Kick is taken by Gulliford, and Gulliford with some running room back across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Panthers will have 63 yards in front of them after the 49-yard Gardocki punt, the 7-yard return by Gulliford. The NFL on NBC continues after this.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. By Compaq Computer Corporation. By Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good. And by the Norelco Razor, for our closest shave ever.
A look at the Clemson campus in late fall, and on the field, Carolina Panthers start their first possession of the second half from the 37-yard line. Gary Collins wants to go deep, intended for Carrier, and well overthrown as Carrier goes with Ray Buchanan down the sideline.
But once again, inexperienced Collins just saying, I'm going to go deep, going to stretch that defense out, pull them away from the line of scrimmage, give us some room to work underneath, and he just lobs that up. But you can see the inexperience right there. He just, and lofting that ball up, no accuracy. He was making a Carrier work for that all by himself.
First half possessions for the Panthers. They started cold and then began to come on toward the end of the half. The touchdown drive capped off by Kerry Collins' quarterback sneak for a TD. On second down, the give is to Bob Christian. And Christian, whose Northwestern Wildcats will go to the Rose Bowl, falls forward for a gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd down 7.
You know, one of the things, and we're talking about what the Panthers did in the first half to have the success that they did, you got to believe that one of the keys is that offensive line. Young though they may be, they've got 2 rookies in Brockmeyer and Garcia. They've got a couple of third-year guys in Whitley and Elliott, but they're doing a very nice job up front against the Colt defensive line.
3rd down 7. Panthers have been 4 of 7 in converting 3rd downs. Collins chased, releases as Ellis Johnson gets him to fall down, but Collins able to get rid of the football, and it'll be an incompletion and 3rd down, and Ellis Johnson might have sprained an ankle chasing Kerry Collins.
Well, he's moving pretty good. You're going to see him. He's going to come right up the middle and breaking through right there in the middle of your screen. Going to move inside. Unmolested. Actually, he gets left alone because of the blitz by Trev Albert, but right there just diving out. Now you see what happened as he dove out for Collins. Collins' heel came up and caught him underneath the chin.
Aha.
Had that happen before. That'll wake you up.
That's your basic no fun.
Or put you to sleep.
Hello, it's Sunday. We're going to kick you in the chin.
What's the date today? Well, I didn't know that before the play.
So as Colts trainers work on Ellis Johnson, with the score still tied at 10 here in Clemson, we'll be back in a moment. As we bring it back to Clemson, South Carolina, Jim Harbaugh has been working to try to loosen up a kinky right knee after the hit he took on the last Colts possession from Darian Connor and Sam Mills. And I don't know, what do you think, Bob Golic? He coming back?
He looks like he's going to try to. He's moving around. It doesn't look like it's that gingerly, but you're going to have to watch out because it's his plant leg. It's the back leg.
Meanwhile, Ray Buchanan takes Tommy Barnhart's punt and gets loose along the sideline, out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. 49-yard punt by Barnhart, 14-yard return by Buchanan. And here's a look at Harbaugh testing the leg along the sideline, and you can see that a few moments ago during commercial he was testing to see if he'd be able to plant effectively on the right leg, and he has come onto the field, Bob Golic, but he does look a little the worse for wear.
Well, the problem here is that in order for him to get some time, he may have to get out of the pocket with little short rolls. That knee's bugging him too much. He's not going to have the mobility he normally would have, and with the way the Carolina Panthers are blitzing, he better find some mobility.
It's already a subpar day for the NFL's leading passer by simple virtue of the fact that he's thrown an interception. On first down, they give to Falk, and Falk is ridden down from behind on a terrific read and tackle by number 54, Carlton Bailey.
Once again, the linebackers just doing a terrific job. They're attacking the line on every single play. You're going to see, again, Sam Mills attacking the line. You're going to see 54, Carlton Bailey coming across, and Roosevelt Potts lead blocking, but Bailey able to slip in behind the block of Potts and make a big play. Well, I tell you what, I have never seen 2 linebackers having such a big day as Bailey and Mills are right now.
Same way Bailey and check it, Mills and Ricky Jackson used to do it in New Orleans. Another blitz for the Panthers, and Harbaugh goes down again. Flags down near the line of scrimmage as Harbaugh is sacked for the 4th time. Greg Cragen, number 71, was in there along with a host of other Panthers.
Well, they're so worried about the blitz now, and that's one of the problems. The offensive line for the Colts is just confused as far as who they have to pick up. When they see the blitz starting to develop, we see one of the Colts down.
Illegal motion by the offense, number 70. The penalty is declined. Brings up 3rd down.
Veteran guard Randy Dixon is the man who is on the ground, and Colts trainers once again come onto the field. We'll take another look at the sack.
But as I was saying, when you start blitzing, sometimes they start worrying about the linebacker so much that they can forget about the D lineman. You see Cragen there with a nice move to the outside, working up against Dixon. He ends up on the other side of a blitz or of the sack, and really good collapse of that pocket.
Gave too much credit to Cragen and maybe not enough to Mike Fox or Lamar Lathan, whoever it was coming from the other side, and I still don't have an accurate spot on that. Meanwhile, they work on Randy Dixon.
hair, and an irresistible natural beauty. There's no mistaking a brilliance that lasts forever. This Christmas, surprise her with a diamond beyond all her expectations.
There's nothing like a good bacon cheeseburger. But no matter how much you dress it up, dress it down, or disguise it, it's still a bacon cheeseburger. Unless it's a bacon cheeseburger burrito from Taco Bell. Introducing 3 classic bacon tastes loaded with bacon. The bacon cheeseburger burrito, the BLT soft taco, and the chicken club burrito. The Taco Bell sizzling bacon menu starting at 99 cents. One thing people can't disguise is how much they love them.
If you were to take every honor, every award, everything positive that's been said about the Toyota Camry and laid them end to end, you'd probably ask yourself, why did I do that? With option package savings, why not lease one for $249 a month, 0 down, and come up with a few accolades of your own? The 1996 Camry, the gold standard from Toyota.
Fathers and sons have always shared the game of golf. Now Lee Trevino, Ray Floyd, Johnny Miller, and more team with their sons for the Father-Son Challenge. Next.
As I see working on Randy Dixon, left offensive guard, who got rolled up on. It looked like actually by Mike Fox, who made the sack. Greg Cragen assisting on that, but Dixon looked like he got rolled up on by Harbaugh's body as the sack was being made.
And with regular starter Eric Malum already out on the right side. The Colts are thin on the offensive line coming in. Now either Sean Harper or Kip Vickers will have to come into the game at guard. Both are regularly tackles. It's Vickers who's in there, number 71. Harbaugh gets away from pressure, fires downfield, in and out of the hands of Aaron Bailey. And again, the Panthers have blunted an Indianapolis possession, and Jim Harbaugh limps to the sideline, where already teammates Ellis Johnson and Randy Dixon have been hurt in this half.
Well, they said one of the improvements that Harbaugh has experienced this year is that in the past, when he ran with the ball, he knew he was tucking it away and going to run. Now, when he starts to run with the ball, he's still looking downfield. But you know what? When your knees bugging you like that, you're not running well. It's kind of difficult to concentrate on your receivers downfield when you're having a hard time running.
Banta on field to snap it to Gardocki. Gardocki kicking from near his goal line. No flag as the football rolls out of bounds at the Carolina 47-yard line. 33-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Carolina Panther football in excellent field position. This game tied up still at 10 apiece.
Well, Gardocki not real happy with getting hit by Andre Royal, number 58. But when the ball touches the ground there, he's, it becomes... It changes from a normal don't touch the punter. He says open season on the punter, and Gardocki thinks that he should have had some protection, as do most kickers.
Gardocki says, heck, I'm in my home stadium where I played my college football. Last time I played here, I had a 78-yard punt against South Carolina in 1990. On first down, the Panthers give to Moore. Moore hesitates, then goes for 5 into Indianapolis territory. Hey, stay tuned to NBC tonight for a special called Extremely Weird. And it is.
You talking about me again?
I'm always talking about you, Bob. That's followed by must-see comedy hits Mad About You and Hope and Gloria, plus the powerful world premiere movie event Shadow of a Doubt starring Brian Dennehy. It's all here on NBC tonight, beginning at 7, 6 Central. Extremely Weird, Mad About You, Hope and Gloria, Sunday night movie Shadow of a Doubt. Extremely Weird. Should have been my bio. Second down 6. Collins throws. Complete to Carrier, and Carrier gets it down to the 42-yard line of Indianapolis to pick up a Panther first down.
Yeah, as we said before, they're really going to the short game and just giving him some control. Watch Carrier, just a little short slant here, just pulling up underneath the coverage. Get the ball to him and let him run with it. Good choice of, I'll tell you what, real good choice of routes. Like I said, last week they were throwing a lot of long balls, having a lot of long completions. This week, only a few long throws. Most have been the ball control type of passes.
3 catches for 45 yards for Carrier. First down for the Panthers. Derek Moore protecting the football as he pounds inside the 40 to about the 39. Carrier, of course, the leading receiver in franchise history at Tampa Bay. Later migrated to the Cleveland Browns to play with his former Tampa Bay teammate Vinny Testaverde Asked him yesterday if he was happy to be out of Cleveland, and he acknowledged that that was indeed the case.
At this point in the career, and this point of the season, there's not many people that want to be into Cleveland to play. It's a kind of a nasty situation going on there, as we see number 52, Matt Elliott.
Former Mr. Irrelevant, last player taken in the draft a few years back. Elliott coming off with an apparent knee. And Derek Moore is down in the middle of the field being looked at by Panther trainers. Moore, 10 carries for 38 yards in the game to restore the Panther running game to its previous level. And now he looks as though he may have re-injured the knee that kept him out for 3 weeks.
And they also look like they're checking the stability of the ankle. So that's could be a new situation for him. But looked like the trainers kind of tapped him and said, you're going to be okay.
Panthers are looking for a new offensive guard to replace Elliott. Maybe a tailback too. We'll be back. As we bring it back to Clemson, the good news for the Carolina Panthers is that Derek Moore, as you can see there, is walking around and appears as though he might be able to return to action.
Yeah, when they checked him out and he got up and he walked off the field, he wasn't even limping. So I think that he, coming off that injury, one of the hardest things you have to adjust to is the mental aspect of going back into the competition. Maybe just still a little tentative about when things start falling around his legs.
On the field, second down, 9 yards to go at the 40-yard line. Collins throws, complete to Carrier. And Carrier's near the chain as he goes to the Indianapolis 32. And extracurriculars between Carrier and Ray Buchanan aroused the crowd. Buchanan pats him on the butt and says, we're buddies.
Yeah,
we're pals.
I think the fans got a little more excited about that than Carrier and Buchanan did. But you see Carrier once again starting to drive off and just coming back. Just a good comeback route. Buchanan, who's played well at corner since they moved him over from free safety, had a lot of interceptions at free safety last year. Not as many this year, but they're saying that Vince Hoban saying, I feel that interceptions comes in bunches, so maybe he'll be picking up some pretty soon.
He had 8 last year. He's had 2 so far this year. Some of that,
you better get a bunch fast.
Some of that the result of the fact that defenses try harder to stay away from him than used to be the case. Derek Moore back in the game at running back on 3rd down and 1, and he gets the call and gets the first down for the Panthers across the 30 near the Indianapolis 29-yard line.
But once again, they're running that play. It looks like that OT. You're going to watch 65. Garcia again pulling around the lead block there, coming up and making the block. Nice block there on Jeff Herod, clearing the way, stopping him at the line of scrimmage and letting him pick up the first down. Nice run by Moore.
Quentin Coriat with the tackle for the Colts. You saw Moore leaping up to say, I was within inches of breaking that one. I almost broke it loose. But he got enough to get the Carolina first down. They mark it at the 29-yard line. Panthers trying to snap a tie in a game which is going more and more their way. Collins down the middle. It pops loose. In and out of the hands of the tight end Matthew Campbell. And the Colts get the football back on a very big play by Jason Belzer and number 59, Stephen Grant.
Yeah, you got to give it to the defense on that one. It was a good offensive play. Nice throw into Matthew Campbell, but there Belzer gets his helmet right on the ball, kicking it up in the air, allowing Grant to pull it in and get possession for the Colts. But Belzer up against a big man, just sticking his head in there, putting it right on the ball, knocking it loose.
Grant, 4th-year linebacker out of West Virginia, takes the football to the sideline. Gary Collins, for his part, goes to the Panthers sideline and says, well, what can I do? I put the ball on the money. And the physical contact made the difference for the Colt defense. So Jim Harbaugh brings the Colt offense back on with a football at the 19-yard line to give us the Falk. And he's met and dropped back at his 16. And it is not Harbaugh. It is Paul Justin, number 11, who's come on at quarterback for the Colts. Gerald Williams makes the stop for the Panthers, but the Colts have had to make a quarterback change, apparently because of the right knee bruise that Harbaugh appeared to pick up when hit by Connor and Mills a couple of series ago.
And it's interesting that Justin's in there because Craig Harrison's starting the season as a starter, but it seems that the fans' favorites has been, besides Jim Harbaugh, is next Paul Justin.
Well, Marchibroda and Infante have decided that Justin is the backup for the rest of the year. Dawkins with the catch, and Dawkins is near to a first down for the Panthers, or for the Colts, I should say, as he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carlton Bailey there to make the stop for Carolina.
You see the numbers for Paul Justin, 68.4% completion, 141 yards. But we normally don't show players in their underwear, but Harbaugh is being worked on. And, you know, I mean, he's a tough guy. He just got it nicked a little bit, and he's going to get it taped up and support. I'm sure he's going to try and get it back into the game.
It's 3rd and 4 after the loss to Falk on first down. Justin throws way downfield, and Bailey can't hold on. Well, when you got a different QB in there, the ball comes at a different velocity and a different trajectory.
And you can see when Bailey was turning back for the ball, he kind of got himself turned around. I think that he turned to the inside. You can see on the left side of your screen. But as the ball came, it came over to his left. He had to spin all the way back around and then run to the outside to try and pick it up. But you're right. The chemistry between quarterbacks can be very different. It may take a little bit of time, especially on the long ball, for them to hook up.
So as a result of having nailed Falk for the loss on first down, the Panthers were in position to blunt that possession. Gardocki kicks it away again for the Colts. This time it's short. Coming up to take it is Gulliford, and Gulliford goes all the way back to midfield. Panthers still with the field position advantage. 5 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in what has been a very difficult third period for the now Harbaugh-less Indianapolis Colts. 10-10 Colts Panthers in Clemson. Next Saturday, NBC Sports presents more exciting NFL action starting at the special time of 12 noon Eastern. The NFL on NBC. Vinny Testaverde and those Cleveland Browns who are still playing as hard as they possibly can will be going against Warren Moon and the NFL's leading receiver Chris Carter. So it's Rison and Testaverde against Carter and Moon, and a little bit of Jake Reed thrown in for seasoning. Special Saturday edition of the NFL on NBC starts at 12 noon Eastern. On first down here for the Panthers, Kerry Collins against the rush, delivers the ball intended for Carrier. It was almost a pickoff for Ray Buchanan and David Tate.
Ray Buchanan playing very well, and as we saw Harbaugh on the sideline, still stretching his knee.
Colts public relations staff in the press box telling us that they don't have word yet on precisely the nature of Harbaugh's injury, and as soon as they do, they'll let us know. I've taken the liberty of suggesting that it might be a bruised knee, but who knows? It does appear to be the right leg that he's favoring. 2nd down 10 for Collins and the Panthers. Football at the 49-yard line. Colts blitz, and it works as they stop Derek Moore for no gain.
Looked like the anything you can do, I can do better type of defense. And you see they do a lot of the same things that you saw the Panthers doing. Blitzing the inside backer, sliding the other backer over the top. Getting good penetration up front by number 62, Ellis Johnson.
Back in the game.
Back in the game, their number 1 draft choice. Doing a very good job in his rookie season.
And as Ellis Johnson returns from his previous bout with injury, yet another Colt is bothered. This time it's reserve linebacker Trevor Wilmot, a rookie out of Indiana, who is being attended to by trainers. Nope, it's not Wilmot. It's 98 Tony Siragusa. 98, not 96, my mistake. And the 6-year veteran defensive tackle out of Pittsburgh. Told me a great story last week, Bob Golic. He said that when he was being recruited by Pittsburgh, he got a phone call one night, and the voice at the other end said, "Hey, this is Dan Marino." He said, "Dan Marino, really?" He said, "Yeah, this is Dan Marino. I'm calling to talk to you about going to the University of Pittsburgh." It helped him to make up his mind to go to Pittsburgh rather than to stay in his home state of New Jersey and go to Rutgers. But he was a little disillusioned the following year when he walked past one of the assistant coach's office at Pitt and saw the guy in there with a phone saying, "Hello, this is Dan Marino."
Now we've dealt with a lot of recruiting violations, but I think
but sheer dishonesty is not illegal.
Impersonating superstars should be something the NCAA should investigate.
There's Jim Harbaugh trying to impersonate Jim Harbaugh on the sideline, and so far without sufficient success to bring a smile to his face. 3rd down now for Collins and the Panthers after an incompletion and a less than 1-yard jaunt by Moore. Collins releases, but well short of the first down, as number 55 Quentin Coryatt was there to wrap the receiver up. It was 31 Blair Thomas who made the catch.
Well, the Colts smartly giving them the underneath zone, lined up that time, 3-men across the front, 3 linebackers inside, basically saying, if you're going to throw the ball, we're going to cover it and not give you the first down.
So it'll be 4th down for the Panthers. Tommy Barnhart comes on to punt it away, and Buchanan waits at his 10-yard line. was number 80, Dwight Stone. For many years, one of the best special teams players in this league, there to make the big play for the Panthers.
What an amazing play. I mean, talk about what helped first of all was the hang time on that ball. Kicked beautifully, but you're going to see Dwight Stone coming in and pretty much look like he's the punt returner. And good awareness of where he is and dumping the ball off on the 2-yard line. Watch it, you're going to see him come into the screen and just make the catch there, dropping it off so he didn't carry it back in for a touchback. Dwight Stone, great play.
Part of the Steeler connection for these Carolina Panthers, so dramatically influenced by 3 separate franchises in the NFL. Steelers, that's where Capers came from. Bills, that's where GM Bill Polian came from. And the Saints. Capers came out of that Jim Mora culture in New Orleans after many years there. On first down, Justin and the Colts give to Marshall Faulk, and Faulk gets Indianapolis a little breathing room out to about the 4-yard line. Report on Jim Harbaugh, sprained right knee, questionable return today. Sam Mills making the tackle on the field for the Panthers, and there may ride the Colts' hopes for winning the game.
And one of the things you see here, if it was just a bruise, he probably would have been something he would have been able to walk off already. The fact that he still has limited mobility, that he's still limping so dramatically, dictates that it is something a little bit more serious.
After a gain of 2, it's second down 8. Justin throwing out of his end zone, completes to Dawkins. Dawkins using his body to make the safe catch along the sideline, and McKyer ushers him out of bounds short of the first down.
Well, it just seems to me that the Colts really haven't found a rhythm. They haven't found anything that is going to work for them consistently. The run game has been sporadic. The passing attack has been sporadic. A lot of that comes from the fact that the Carolina Panthers have been blitzing successfully for so long. But hopefully, Paul Justin can get in and garner some sort of a rhythm to get the Colts back on track.
6'4", 215 pounds, first-year player out of Arizona State. Paul Justin, the unlikeliest of backup quarterbacks. Gives to Faulk, and Faulk with a big play gets a first down for the Colts out to the 15-yard line. The Panthers have hemmed him in, but he's still able to use his talent at some moments to make big plays within the context of this game.
But a good play here, because up till now he hasn't been able to really get his hips towards upfield and get himself any kind of room to run. Here with the draw play, he has the middle open, and you can see moving and cutting a little bit more dramatically than he has earlier in this game.
But those are slim numbers for Marshall Faulk. 14 carries for 30 yards. Faulk again. And again, having to fight hard for a couple. He gets it to about the 17-yard line.
You know, with a lot of good running backs, one of the keys to shutting them down is to get penetration. If you can penetrate upfield and you can get to him before he has a chance to turn his hips upfield and set for his break to attack the line of scrimmage, you've taken away all his explosiveness. That's part of what's happening with the Panther defense right now.
Tough for Lindy Infante to be a play-calling genius when his team is bottled up inside its 20, as the Colts have been through most of this third quarter. Second and 8 after the 2-yard gain by Faulk. A lot of time for Justin. Nobody open. And Justin falls forward to the 21-yard line, where it'll be third down after blitzing all game. That time the Panthers, with the new quarterback in, decided to go deep cover, and they made it work.
Exactly, made it work, but again, they brought the backers on the outside, working hard and guys fighting, but good protection up front. But as he runs out of the pocket here, you're going to see 98 Jared Williams chase him down and almost strip him of the ball.
Yep, Williams had a hand on it. Justin was able to hold on to the football. Colts, with Harbaugh, were 5 of 10 in third down conversions. Paul Justin, third down and 6. Belted before he can release the football. Carlton Bailey there to make the hit.
And what a hit.
What a game he's playing.
He is just having an incredible game. He comes on a little bit of a delayed blitz. He lets the defensive lineman attack up front, and then you're going to see him come through. As he comes through, watch him. He's number 54. He's going to drop his shoulder, get leverage on Faulk, just glance right off and get a just stone-cold hit on Paul Justin.
They give Faulk a B for effort, but a D for results, as Bailey goes right on by. Gardocki to kick from his 5-yard line. Colts field position nightmare in the third quarter continues. Long kick for Gardocki. Gulliford takes it at his 34. But plenty of running room for Gulliford, and he's back past midfield into Colt territory at the 49. Panther crowd coming to life here at Clemson. We were told that ticket sales would be in the neighborhood of 50,000. 32 seconds remaining in the third period. Derwin Gray made the stop for the Colts after the 46-yard punt and the 18-yard return. And next Sunday, Pittsburgh Steelers against the Oakland Raiders. 12:30 Eastern Time. Of course, it starts with NFL on NBC and the studio operation hosted by Greg Gumbel. And there's the full lineup. As you can see, some of you will see Buffalo, St. Louis, some Jets, New England, others Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and then in the second half of the doubleheader, most of you will be seeing those Pittsburgh Steelers against the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, on the field, the Colts have another injury problem as Devon McDonald, third-year linebacker out of Notre Dame, is being worked on. It's been a nightmare second half for the Colts.
It really has, and it's, when you're talking about potential playoff situation, right now the Colts only one game behind Buffalo in the AFC East. Very important game for them to try and continue that run to gain that momentum into the playoffs. If they can hold on with Buffalo facing the 49ers, a chance to get in and take control of the AFC East.
But you knew the Colts would be in trouble here when Ted Marchibroda actually allowed himself to say, our team is playing at the peak of their abilities right now. In this league, if you're playing at the peak of your abilities, you are about to head downhill and run into trouble.
Well, it's one thing when you feel good about what you're doing, and the team feels good about themselves. But when you hear so many things like, some of the stats, like, well, they're 7-5 for the first time since 1977, they're getting excited about stuff that isn't really that important yet in the big scheme of things.
They need to keep winning. They've gotten themselves a good foothold in the AFC East. On first down now for the Panthers, operating inside Indianapolis territory. The give is to Derek Moore, and Jeff Herrod makes the stop after a gain of about 3. It'll be second down 7.
And we'd be remiss in talking about schedule or the records and everything. Carolina really just stunning a lot of people this year as an expansion team. 5 wins so far, more than any other expansion team. Granted, free agency has helped them dramatically, but it's still, regardless of how many guys you bring in from a free agent standpoint, it comes down to the fact that they have to learn to play together.
And no matter how many minutes you think you got in the third quarter, it eventually comes to an end at 10-10. We bring it back to Clemson, where the fourth quarter begins. Indianapolis and Carolina tied up at 10 apiece. Second down 7 for the Panthers, operating in Colt territory. Bob Christian in the flat, and Christian busts the first tackler, Eugene Daniel, and goes on down to the 31-yard line.
Great job by Bob Christian. Nice play and just dumping it off. And once Christian gets the ball, watch, he just puts his head down and starts running. He's going to dump it off into the flats and see Christian releasing out there as he avoids the first tackle. And I tell you, you can't run much lower than this without causing a skid mark in the grass.
18-yard pickup, Collins to Christian. First down inside the 31-yard line, almost to the 30, and the Panthers, as you see, are 5-0 when leading after 3 quarters. Here, they're knotted up at 10 apiece. Collins' throw too high, intended for number 87, Matthew Campbell.
Yeah, he was going to Campbell. He had both Rasby and Campbell out in the Rasby short in the flat, Campbell a little bit deeper at about 8 yards, and I think as he was getting ready to throw it, he saw that coverage was too tight, so he just put it up intentionally.
Panthers have had 2 turnovers today, neither of them charged to Collins. One, an interception of a flanker around pass thrown by Eric Gulliford into the end zone intended for Mark Carrier. The other turnover occurred when Matthew Campbell was shaken loose from the football by Jason Belson.
Right, Jason Belson just really getting a shot at him. Right there, giveaways. Carolina giving away 34, the worst in the league.
Over the middle, pass is complete, fumbled forward and retained by the Panthers, and Mark Carrier says, no, I got the first down. And the official says, I don't think so. Jeff Herrod there to make the tackle for the Colts. And they're going to call it an incomplete pass.
Well, let's take a look and see if he had a hold of it long enough to for it to be a completion. He just drops the ball over the middle to Rasby. Yeah, see, I don't know. As he pulled it down and went to tuck it away, it looked like it kind of slid through his hands and legs. I don't think he had possession.
They're ruling that he never had control of the football, and that may be yet another instance in which the Panthers would have liked to have had the dependable hands of regular tight end Pete Metzelaars in the game. So now it's 3rd down and 10 for Collins and the Panthers. And the throw is behind the receiver in the flat. An apparent misread between Collins and the receiver. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Jim, Brett Favre having another terrific day for the Packers. This is an 8-yard touchdown pass to Mark Shimura, his 3rd of the day, 31st of the season, 101st of his career. Favre has thrown 14 touchdown passes in the last 4 games. Packers lead the Bengals 24-10 in the 4th, Jim.
Possible MVP in the league, Bob Golic?
Without a doubt, he is somebody who has just come alive this year.
John Casey with a 48-yard attempt to try to untie this football game. It's going to be well short. And this will relieve the Colts' field position headache. By missing the 48-yarder, the Panthers have, for the first time in the second half, allowed the Colts out of jail. Indianapolis will have good field position when we come back.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Coors Light, shipped cold to bring you all that is great about the Rockies. Tap the Rockies with Coors Light. And by IBM, solutions for a small planet.
Paul Justin in the game at quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, and the Colts have just gotten their first decent field position of the second half as the result of the missed 48-yard field goal try by John Casey of Carolina. After having averaged starts inside their 20 in the half, now the Colts get to move from the 37. Another full-on blitz by Carolina. Justin gets rid of the football as he goes down in the grasp of the ubiquitous Carlton Bailey.
He is just, between him and Sam Mills seems to be the sacrificial lamb on most of these blitzes now. They send him first and bring Carlton Bailey behind him. You're going to see Mills. He'll be the first one attacking the line of scrimmage. Bailey coming before. The line has to adjust to pick up Mills, leaving Bailey wide open to put the pressure on Justin.
Good look at Mills, calling defensive signals. 2nd down 10. Colts operating from their 38. Throwing the flat to Marshall Faulk, and Faulk, what I think is his first reception of the day, is across the 45 to the 47-yard line. It is indeed Marshall Faulk's first catch of the day, and we talked about it at halftime, Bob Golic. That's one way to get him the football with a little running room.
Right, he hasn't had the room to really open up and let him exploit his style of running. Getting the ball out to him in the flat there, definitely a way to do that. Brett Maxey was in zone coverage out there. On Faulk, you get the ball to him quick and let him run with it.
It'll be 3rd down, a long 1, a short 2. And now Paul Justin, not wanting to waste this possession, will use a Colt timeout to get himself a chance to go talk with Lindy Infante. Game tied, 13:46 to go.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now and have Domino's deliver the ultimate deep dish pizza. Because when it's gotta be deep, it's gotta be Domino's.
3:22 p.m. Clemson time on a Sunday afternoon. Paul Justin replacing the injured Jim Harbaugh at quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. You see the numbers on Justin. And after an 8-yard completion to Marshall Faulk on 2nd down, it's 3rd down, a short 2, a long 1 for the first down. They give to Faulk, and Faulk gets across midfield to the Carolina 49 and picks up the first down. Sam Mills made the tackle. First time all day they've used that running play.
They run it right up the middle this time. Linebackers not being as aggressive in this front. Just a little pull there by the guard. Lead right up the middle. The linebackers not attacking. They were blitzing from the outside on that play. Carolina Panthers seem to be blitzing on just about every single play.
And 71 with the good pull block there was reserve tackle Kip Vickers having to line up at guard in the absence of Randy Dixon. So a little pat on the back for Vickers there. Falk trying for second effort yardage. Greg Cragen wrapped around him. A gain of about 2. It'll be second down 8.
And now, you know, in this day and age, a lot of times you're watching guys trying to go in and make the big hit and just knock guys down. You don't see the good form tackles. Well, that time Greg Cragen really getting in there and wrapping Falk up.
Former Pro Bowler with the Denver Broncos and prototypical of the kind of player they looked for to stock this Panther defense. Cragen in his 11th year in the league. Maybe doesn't have all of his physical muscle left, but he knows the game.
And they had to talk him out of retirement.
Second down 7. Falk touched behind the line of scrimmage. Fights forward, maybe gets a yard. It's going to be third down and another test for Paul Justin coming up. Bailey again there.
Carlton Bailey flowing down the line, and again, Greg Cragen at nose tackle. You know, we talked about it before, only 267 pounds, but flowing very well has always been his strong suit. Again, Bailey making a play. You're going to watch Bailey at the left linebacker there, and number 71, Greg Cragen, chasing down the line. Good play by the defense.
We talked about the Steeler connection. Bailey is one of the various former Buffalo Bills collected for this team by general manager Bill Polian. Now third down and 5 yards to go for Justin and the Colts. Another blitz, and it succeeds. Darian Connor.
Darian Connor may have more sacks today than I've had in my career. They moved him up on the line to put him down as a right end. You're going to see him there, top of your screen. Just coming up quick, working against Will Wolford. Just using his speed to get around Wolford, making a nice move and coming back on Justin from the backside.
Connor with his 3rd sack of the day. 6-year veteran, former Atlanta Falcon out of Jackson State.
But I had more than 3 sacks in my career.
I know that. You had 5. Kicked away by Gardocki. Gulliford across the 25. Good punt run back by Gulliford prevents the Panthers from being pinned deep in their territory. Darian Connor, Sam Mills, Carlton Bailey, all having great days at linebacker for the Panthers. 7 sacks today for the Carolina Panthers, and the 3-4 defensive alignment is not in vogue in this league anymore, Bob. You don't see it very often, and maybe teams have forgotten how to block it. On first down for the Panthers, the give is to Derek Moore, and Moore with second effort is going to have a gain of 2.5 or so. It'll be second down and a long 7 to go for the first down. Coming up after the game, it's the conclusion of the Office Depot Father-Son Challenge. Our own Johnny Miller joining golf legends Lee Trevino, Raymond Floyd, and others as they team up with their sons for the final day action next on NBC. Too bad it wasn't the father and 4 sons Office Depot Challenge, because Johnny has 4 sons, all of whom play great golf, and if they had made it the father and 4 sons competition, I think he'd be a lot. On second down, Moore has a gain of about 3. Panthers trying to keep the football on the ground here. Clock running with under 11 minutes to go in the game. We're still tied up at 10. Devon McDonald making the stop for the Colts along with Tony Siragusa, and we're getting into a war of nerves here between Dom Capers and Ted Marchibroda.
Right, I'm sure Dom Capers wants to try and eat up some clock, but he also has to remember he doesn't have the field position that he had earlier in the game. He's going to have to find a way to get it down and get in a position where he can get some points. Giving the ball to Derek Moore repeatedly isn't going to do it. It hasn't been that much of a payoff for him all day long.
Third down 5. Colt defense has been typically tough against the run. Panthers even tougher. Collins pass batted down at the line of scrimmage. Eric Gulliford was the intended receiver, but Kerry Collins failed to get it over the on-rushing Colt linemen, who appear to have been conscious all day, Bob, of going for the tipped ball instead of the sack.
Yeah, it really looks like it. When they get there, as they're approaching and they're rushing on the pass, they seem like if they get stunted at the line at all, they get the hands up. But it was probably a good thing for the Panthers that the ball was knocked down, because Ray Buchanan was sitting right on Gulliford waiting to make a play on that ball.
Barnhart on to kick yet again. You see the numbers on him so far today. 42.0, also his average for the entire season. Buchanan takes this one at the 28. And Buchanan is belted down just as he gets across the 35, so it's a 41-yard punt, a 4-yard return. Indianapolis football with Paul Justin at quarterback when we come back.
Well, he's definitely done for the day now. Jim Harbaugh being wrapped in ice to try and keep any kind of swelling down in the knee.
There's your NFL leading passer coming into today's game. He has been knocked out by the Panthers. Paul Justin. Good throw down the middle to Dawkins. And Dawkins gets into Carolina territory at the 48-yard line. Tim McKyer, number 22, there to make the stop on the 16-yard completion from Justin to Dawkins.
Well, two things different here. The quarterbacks, first of all, having more time. Justin having more time than the quarterbacks have had all day. And this time, a deep route that actually was open. McKyer had given him just a little bit too much room and was wide open down the middle.
Sixth catch for 81 yards for Dawkins. One other thing was different on that play. Marshall Faulk with a terrific blitz pickup on Sam Mills. So that gave Justin the time to make the throw. First down now from the Carolina 48. Sidearm throw for Justin. And the receiver never turned around and looked. That was Marshall Faulk, who was streaking down the sideline.
Yeah, Marshall Faulk, one of the things that you do as a running back when you move them out, sometimes they don't pick up some of the blitz things that the wide receivers are used to working on. Justin saw that the blitz was coming from the outside that time. There should have been a hot throw to the outside receiver, which was Faulk on the outside. Faulk not catching it, just takes out on the streak the original pattern up the field.
And you see scores of ongoing games at the bottom of your screen. Remember, the Pittsburgh Steelers can clinch the AFC Central Division title if they can beat the Houston Oilers. Second down 10 for the Colts at the Carolina 48. Plenty of time for Justin. Deep receiver is open and he overthrows it. It was number 88, Floyd Turner, who was lonely inside the Carolina 20.
Boy, they could use Harbaugh now. Nothing against Justin, but if you look inside, they brought both inside linebackers. Both of them picked up very well on this play, giving Justin a lot of time. Justin, obviously not getting the reps that Harbaugh does in practice, maybe a little bit off.
Justin knew after he released the football that he had missed an open target, which would have given them a chance to score. So instead of first down 10 near the 10-yard line, it's third down 10 at the 48. Justin operating out of the gun, flanked by Potts and Faulk. Faulk goes into the flat. Justin throws downfield, and it's picked off by Terrell. Pat Terrell, the free safety, gets it back to the 42-yard line. He was the man who was chasing Floyd Turner one play before from behind. This time he was in position to make the play.
Again, and it's getting redundant. Another blitz on Justin. You're going to see him getting pressured at the end of the play. But right there, the ball thrown high went over the hands of Floyd Turner and into the hands of Pat Terrell.
Trying to hit a Sean Dawkins who was covered well and didn't have a chance to make a play on that ball.
Exactly, thrown behind him, and Pat Terrell really trying to make an impact since he left and spent those years with the Rams.
Second interception of the season for Terrell. And now with good field position, the Panthers operate from their 42 and complete down the middle into Indianapolis territory. No, it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Carrier. So it'll be second down 10 for the Panthers from their 42.
Well, it's good to see the Panthers opening up a little bit. On the last series, they gave the ball to Derek Moore a couple of times. Really seemed to be kind of conservative way back in their own territory. A little bit of a change on what they've been doing earlier in the game where they were having success. Now trying to open it up a little bit.
Gary Collins has gone cold for the moment. Collins only one of his last 6. Five-man defensive front for the Colts. Pitches to Moore. Tries to cut it back in. He's hit by Jeff Herrod and held to a gain of about 3. It'll be third down 7.
Yeah, he got out there and looks like he's getting up slow once again, trying to get to the perimeter. But I think, you got a guy that's coming off an injury.
Laying with his right knee in a big brace.
Re-injures it again today and is slow getting up earlier in the game. Now they're going to make him run the perimeter. I don't know that you want to be doing that.
So now Moore comes off. Blair Thomas and Anthony Johnson both on the field in the third down configuration for the Panthers. Colts show blitz, and then Stephen Grant backs off. We're gaming on the right side. Collins finds the release and has a first down with number 31 Blair Thomas going into Indianapolis territory at the 42-yard line. Jason Belzer made the saving tackle after a gain of 13.
Blair Thomas, a name out of the past, hasn't been in the game very much today. Is just going to release. You're going to see him just coming right over the middle. again, going back to what they did earlier in the game, the short control passing game, just dumping the ball off.
And a little reaction from Kerry Collins, and as you look at Collins, if you're a Panther fan rejoicing at him, we'll also tell you that Quentin Coriac, the dangerous outside linebacker for the Colts, has suffered an Achilles tendon problem and is likely gone for the rest of the day. Bob Christian pounding forward from fullback for a gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd down 6 for the Panthers as they move close to scoring territory against the Colts.
And the Colts, right now, I mean, they've got to respond. They've got to get up defensively, and they've been having problems. The Carolina offensive line, very good today, but that defensive front has really got to line up, and they've got to shut things down. To see a shot of Quentin Coriac on the sidelines, his Achilles ankle or Achilles tendon and ankle wrapped in ice again to minimize the swelling and trying to expedite the recovery process.
2nd player overall in the 1992 draft, fulfilling his potential this year. Collins' pass is dropped by Carrier. And that's the last thing Kerry Collins expects, is that his most dependable receiver, the one with whom he has the most chemical relationship, drops the football on him.
And as they say, hit him in a bad spot, the hands. Just see the Carrier going there. It looked like it actually went through his hands and caught him on the face mask. I think Carrier actually looking, as you know, as a lot of guys do sometimes, they feel like they want to try and do a lot of things themselves. They want to pick up the yardage, sometimes turn in to make the yardage before they actually have the ball.
So it's 3rd down from the 38-yard line. They need to get it to the 31 for a 1st down. Collins throws the slant, and it's in and out of the hands of Ashley Ambrose, the Colt nickelback, who almost had a pick.
Boy, he was right there, and that ball was poorly thrown. Ambrose, a good reaction and coming up for the play. You're going to see him, he's going to throw it to the left side of the screen. But Ambrose, great reaction, great break back for the ball, but Collins just not seeing him coming back into the picture.
So Kerry Collins goes cold just when the Panthers appear to have a chance to seize command of the football game. And now with 6 minutes, 27 seconds remaining, Tommy Barnhart will try to pin the Colts deep. Barnhart's kick is high. Buchanan will let it go. It takes a Colt bounce back out across the 20 to about the 21-yard line. A 16-yard punt by Tommy Barnhart after the penalizing bounce away from the goal line.
Well, one of the things they wanted to do, obviously, was pin it back there, but weren't able to do it that time.
The National Football League's #1 rated passer, Jim Harbaugh, had to leave this game after this play in the 3rd quarter. He played one more series following this, but almost certainly, Bob, this is where the damage was done.
Yeah, scrambling up the middle, he gets pinned in there between Connor and Mills and just really takes a good shot. Tried to come back after that and play another series, but just didn't feel that he had the strength and stability in the knee to plant and make the plays that he had to play, especially with the pressure the Panther defense has been putting on.
1st down blitz coming, and good release to Falk in the flat, and Falk falls forward for a gain of about 5. It'll be 2nd down 5. Fascinating that the Colts find themselves in this quarterback situation. You'll remember in the offseason, they went to a great deal of trouble and expense to acquire Craig Erickson from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, anointed Erickson as the #1 quarterback. That made Harbaugh a better player somehow, and he seized command of the job, and Erickson so lost his confidence that the coaches elected to make Justin the backup, and Erickson will be the #3 for the remainder of the year.
No, and obviously, if that's a decision they've made, then Justin is the one who's getting a lot more snaps in practice, even before this game. Now, depending on the severity of the knee injury, maybe called on to do a lot more.
Justin with a big play there as he releases downfield to Floyd Turner, and Turner makes the catch at the 37-yard line. Good enough for a Colt 1st down, working on rookie corner Tyrone Poole.
That's right, just working out there, and a good throw. Again, watch Justin showing some confidence back there. He hasn't been pummeled the way Harbaugh was early on, and really stepping up and taking a good control. Look at him just kind of use the pocket. He sees where the defenders are coming. He knows where his blockers are. Get a little pressure at the end, but a very good throw and catch.
13-yard connection from Justin to Turner. 1st down for the Colts outside their 35 at the 36. Justin again throwing. This time it's batted down at the line of scrimmage by Big Mike Fox, number 93.
Well, the Colts have been doing it too. They've been getting the hands up. Why not the Panthers? They know that they're trying to get that ball out. They're trying to use the short game a little bit more, a quicker release to try and avoid the rush of the Panthers. See Fox there just getting his hand up at the line of scrimmage and knock it down.
Former New York Giant, of whom Lawrence Taylor says, Mike is Mike. Nobody messes with Mike.
Well said, Lawrence.
I love that quote. You know, kind of profound. Mike is Mike. LT is not the former North Carolina linebacker who's having a big day here today. That's Carlton Bailey, number 54 of the Panthers. Justin throws down the middle. Could have been picked off. A little bit late looking back was the Carolina defender on the play, Tyrone Poole.
It looks like we're going to get a holding on the Colts. Yeah, the ball was definitely thrown behind the receiver. Poole having a good opportunity perhaps to react to make a play on it.
Not a lot of flags in the second half.
Holding by the offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
And that's your star offensive lineman, Will Wolford, who drew the holding penalty here.
Well, we saw Darian Connor working him on the outside in one of Darian Connor's sacks. Wolford, a veteran that they picked up from Buffalo, been around for about 10 years.
Markoff back to the 26-yard line. It'll be second down, 20 yards to go for the Colts. They need to get it all the way out near the 47 for a first down. So tough work for Justin coming up. Justin goes for half of it, and Falk can't hold on. Poole was there with the coverage for the Panthers.
Yeah, Poole did a nice job. He was right there. Falk knew that he was definitely the safety valve on that. He was going to be one of the last guys. He wasn't really, I think, expecting too much to have this ball thrown to him. Just kind of hanging out and waiting. But Justin was able to really read through the progression receivers pretty quick. Ended up coming to Falk, but just threw it a little bit. Anticipated him coming back just a little bit more than he did.
Pretty good square out cut for a running back. Then you got to hold on to the football. There are the numbers on third down for the Colts. Crowd rises to try to inspire the Panther defense. Justin down the middle. Caught by Turner. He's going to be short of the first down. Turner gets it to about the 42. He's 5 yards away from first down yardage. Gardocki and company will come on to kick it away for Indianapolis.
Well, you knew that they would give him some underneath routes because they needed a lot of yardage for the first down, but man, they were cutting it awful close on that one.
Pretty gutty throw by Justin under the circumstances. Seventh punt upcoming for Gardocki. 42.7 average so far for the former Clemson Tiger, playing in his old home college stadium for the first time since 1990. Booms this one low. Coming up to take it on the run is Gulliford. This will be a productive punt return for the Panthers as Gulliford comes across midfield and is knocked down at the 49-yard line.
Well, you got to put that one on Gardocki because the ball was a low driving ball, and it came into Gulliford's hand before the coverage was able to get down there and make any kind of a play. You're going to see Gulliford get the ball, and there's still 25, 30 yards between him and any of the guys coming downfield, which gives him plenty of room, plenty of vision to see what holes are opening up, and also get a heck of a lot of momentum.
Gardocki and Derwin Gray combined to make the touchdown saving tackle for the Colts. But off the 29-yard return by Gulliford of the 34-yard punt by Gardocki, the Panthers have it in Colt territory at the 48-yard line. Collins on first down. Wants to go down the middle and has his man, and it's dropped again. And again, it's Mark Carrier with the droppage of an easy catch.
And as you said before, Jim, he's the guy. Mark Carrier is the guy that Kerry Collins really has the rapport with. The timing, you know, everything that you need between a quarterback and receiver. And yet, Carrier, the last two, this reception and also the last series, 2 drops. Right in the hands, right in the chest. What's happening with Carrier, it's going to his hands, but he's not catching it with his hands. He's bringing his hands too close to his body. The last series, it bounced off his mask in his hands, this time off his chest in his hands.
Ninth-year veteran out of Nicholls State, and that kind of drop in that situation, inexcusable. Derek Moore with the ball on first down for the Panthers. Gain of about 3. It'll be third down 7 coming up.
Well, that return by Gulliford was huge for these guys if they're able to convert this.
Reestablishes their field position advantage.
Exactly. Gardaki had a chance to really set them back, and every time we saw the Panthers start from deep in their own territory, they seemed a little more conservative and weren't as productive as they were once they start sniffing a little bit closer to the goal line.
They've got a long 7 or a short 8 for a first down here. Moore off the field. Carrier, as you saw, comes to the near side of your screen. Colts showing blitz and bringing it. Collins releases, and the first down is dropped by Willie Green. So 2 separate drops damaging the Panthers badly on that series.
They are just having, well, I was going to say having no luck at all, but this isn't luck. This has nothing to do with luck. This is all technique. This is what you're paid to do. The ball's coming into, and granted, it's a little throw. But
it's a great throw. You can't make a better throw.
Exactly. It's right there down into his hands and his stomach. But again, what they're doing, it looks like they're trying to catch the ball against their body with their hands instead of making the grab with their hands.
7th punt now for Tommy Barnhart, averaging 37.5 after that last short one. This one much better. High, deep. Buchanan makes the fair catch at the 11-yard line. Colts will have 89 yards to go after the 34-yard punt by Barnhart. Next Saturday, NBC Sports presents more exciting NFL action starting at the special time of 12 noon Eastern with the NFL on NBC. Joe Montana will be in there with Ditka, Gibbs, Gumbel, Rashad, all the NFL's latest breaking news. Then Warren Moon and the NFL's leading receiver Chris Carter lead the Vikings against Benny Testaverde, Andre Rison, and the Cleveland Browns. Special Saturday edition of the NFL on NBC starting at 12 noon Eastern right here on NBC.
You know, Jim, this location, Death Valley, one of Joe Montana's comeback games back in 1977, our national championship year.
And you played on that team and in that game, didn't you, Bob?
Not as productive as Joe was, but yes, I did play.
First down for Justin and the Colts. Falk breaks it away and barges forward for a gain of about 6. One of his longest running plays of the day. And it'll be second down coming up for the Colts. And we go to the Panther sideline to see what the Panther receivers have to say after the 2 droppages that sabotaged that last possession.
Yeah, Carrier, Green, and Gulliford all sitting there going, okay, we dropped the ball. Let's concentrate now. Let's focus a little bit because we're going to get our butts chewed tomorrow. We might as well try and do something good the rest of the day today.
It'll feel a lot better if they can somehow pull out a win. Second down. 4 yards to go after the gain of 6 on first down by Falk. The give is to Falk, and flags are down as he falls forward for what would be first down yardage.
Well, the last play, it really seemed to work out a little bit better. You see motion against the Colts, not what they needed here, trying to establish something with Falk. But for the first time in the last play, Marshall Falk being able to cut it back to the backside, finding some open space and picking up some good yardage.
Illegal shift by the offense, numbers 88 and 81, moving at the same time. The 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
You see the Colts possession in the second half. Not to talk about no production. The punter's getting a lot of work out.
Marshall Falk, 20 carries for 53 yards in the game. He's been bottled up by the Panther defense, and they lost Jim Harbaugh to injury late in the 3rd period. And the net result of all that is offensive futility for Indianapolis in the second half. This after the brilliant fireworks display in the first half against Miami last week. So it's second down 8. Justin releases the ball, dangerous throw, but he got it out of there as he was going down.
Once again, good pressure. Looks like Cragen and Mike Fox, I think, you're going to see him running some more games up front. Fox coming on this side, making Justin move a little bit, but Cragen coming, making the big hit on the backside, working up the middle.
Yeah, they're starting to do a better job of picking up the linebackers, and the down linemen are starting to get in there as a result.
Unfortunately, that's where the confusion comes in. You make the adjustments to hit the linebackers. Sometimes those relentless defensive linemen like a Cragen or Jerry Williams, they're going to fight their way through.
Third down, they've got to get the football to the 22-yard line for a first down. Justin from inside his 5, and the pass is batted down.
Oh, and Justin saying that he was hitting the head. Lamar Lathan came in to make a hit. Justin on the ground saying, hey, he hit me in the head. That should be a penalty. You see Lathan coming to the bottom of your screen here, working down underneath. And he did go up high, making a play for the ball. You know, I'll tell you what, you see a lot of those plays are being called as penalties. Anytime a guy's hand or anything makes contact with the quarterback's head, they're very quick to throw the flag.
Or you get a note from Gene Washington on Tuesday.
And a bill.
Gardocki from his end zone. Gulliford takes it at the 40. Looking for another big play. And again, he's got room into Colt territory at the 43-yard line. 46-yard punt, 18-yard return. 2-minute warning arrives. Panthers are in position to try to drive into field goal range and win the football game. Rookie quarterback Kerry Collins and his Carolina Panthers have played it pretty close to the best in the second half, but now they have field position with the football at the 43-yard line of the Indianapolis Colts. 2 minutes to go and a chance for Dom Capers and company to pick up their 6th victory of the season. On first down, Moore and Christian behind Kerry Collins, and the give is to Christian. And behind good blocking, he gets it past the 40 to about the 38.
Well, you know, at this point, Dom Capers and Kerry Collins are going to do nothing stupid to jeopardize possession of the ball. They're inside the 40-yard line. They know all they have to do is eat up some time, get it down another 15 yards or so, kick themselves 3 points.
Capers talking there with offensive coordinator Joe Pendry. Pendry saying to Capers, Dom, don't you worry, we're not going to do anything stupid here. We know how close we are to John Casey's field goal range. Collins in this half only 6 of 18 for 61 yards. On second down, he pulls it down, gets out of the pocket, and will flip it out of bounds to avoid a potential interception. So now it will be third down, 6 yards to go with the football at the 39. 55 or 56 yards, which would be the kick if they were to attempt it from here, is beyond John Casey's range. His longest this year has come from 52 yards out, and you got to figure on natural grass in this stadium kicking toward a relatively open end, that's going to be about the max.
Without a doubt, that's going to be the max. They need to pick up a little more yardage here.
They need a first down. And they have to get the football to the 33-yard line for a first down. So call it third down and 6. Plenty of time for Collins. Now he finally releases, and the receiver can't hold on. It's number 84, Eric Gulliford, and the flag goes down.
But it's going to be a face mask.
Yep.
It's going to be a face mask.
Number 30 is Derwin Gray, reserve safety.
Made the play on Gulliford, but as he came up, you could see it after the play. Just jerked Gulliford's head.
And Gulliford's a little worse, the worse for wear as a result. Well, if you're looking for an MVP in the game, Eric Gulliford's last 2 punt returns of 29 and 18 yards give him a total of 107 yards on punt returns in the game, and this last one may have set up the decisive score.
Well, they had their little talk about holding on to the ball, and initially it looked like one more time they were going to have the incompletion, but bad play by the Colts.
Gulliford, third-year receiver out of Arizona State, only 173 pounds and 5'8". It takes stern courage for him to go down the middle between the safeties like that.
There was no pass interference on the play, but there was a personal foul face mask by the defense, number 36. The 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
Well, it sounds like he said 36, Damon Watts. We're going to see him over the middle here. Watts is 30, makes a play for the ball.
Now that's Derwin Gray.
It was definitely Derwin Gray. But as he went for the ball, and it was definitely inadvertent. You're going to watch him go and make the play on the ball, and as he does, his hand comes up from behind, up and inside the mask of Gulliford, and it looked like it was inadvertent, but
they get the full 15.
Yeah, they get it.
They get the full 15 because of the danger to Gulliford and probably because of some of the punishment he took.
Well, I think that the referees at this point have to make the judgment. Was he trying to hurt him? And I have a feeling that he got his hand inside. He came up from the inside up and underneath the mask. I don't think he could have got his hand out of there and released it if he wanted to.
And I'll bet you Marchibroda is saying, hey, how come that wasn't the lighter of the two penalties?
Because as dramatic as it looked, from where we stand, it doesn't look like he intentionally jerked the head. Watch him. He's going to go for the ball. His hand gets stuck in the mask, and he isn't able to pull it out right away. Obviously, a little bit more drama because of the speed of everything going on, but I think Marchibroda's got a very valid point.
Nevertheless, it's first down 10 inside the 25 at the 24. And the Panthers are playing it safe with Christian on the ground. Well, they went out and spent free agent money to get John Casey away from the Seattle Seahawks. Tony Siragusa making the stop for the Colts there. And in a matter of 2 more plays, this game could well rest on John Casey's foot for the Panthers. Bring you back to Clemson Memorial Stadium. Frank Howard Field in Clemson, South Carolina. The man in the middle right there, Jerry Richardson, founder and owner of the Carolina Panthers, himself a former Baltimore Colt, hoping that his team can complete an unlikely victory today at home over the Indianapolis Colts, who came in on the strength of a 2-game winning streak, looking to gain ground in the AFC East Division battle with Buffalo.
And, they had a good opportunity. Buffalo matching up against the 49ers tonight. And, a matchup like that, the 49ers favorites would have been a good opportunity should the Colts have won this one to get up there and tie in for the lead.
On second down, again, the Panthers play it safe on the ground. Moore with the football. Falls forward for a gain of maybe a couple. It'll be third down coming up.
Well, they're just buying time right now. They're just trying to move the ball a little bit at a time. They know that it's going to come down to Casey. They're not making anything. Obviously they're going to hope for that one of these times somebody might be able to break it or pop a big one, but they really just want to keep possession and have a shot at it with a kick.
And the Colts have used the last of their 3 timeouts to stop the clock and try to preserve a little room for themselves to do something. When and if John Casey is able to nail the field goal that will snap the 10-10 tie. So you see that the Panthers still have all 3 of theirs. Ted Marchibroda and company have used all 3 of theirs, and there's Casey warming up out of Tommy Barnhart's hold.
Well, as important as Casey is to the team right now, I see a couple of fans in front of us wearing Casey jerseys, and normally you don't see kickers' jerseys worn by fans that often.
A lot of eyebrows were raised around the league when Bill Polian, GM, and Dom Capers, head coach, elected to go out and spend unrestricted free agent money on both kickers. John Casey from the Seahawks to kick, Tommy Barnhart from the New Orleans Saints to punt. But they were thinking, we're building a defensive team here. We're going to play close games. Kicks will decide some of them. And on third down, they give the football to Derek Moore, and now Casey and Barnhart will come on to try to do their job. It'll be about a 37-yard try with 44 seconds remaining and the clock running.
Well, there's so many games that these kickers can be anonymous, but when it comes down to this is when all the eyes focus. This is where people start getting the reputation for, or they have those feelings about kickers that they're either the hero or the GOAT. So many times they just go out there and kick the extra point, pick up a couple of points here and there. End of the game like this, trying to win it. So much pressure, and you always know that the defenses are going to try and call timeouts. Although the Colts have used all of theirs.
Panthers ran the play clock all the way down to the bottom and then called one of their own timeouts. So there are 12 seconds remaining on the game clock as Casey comes on. He's made 1 of 2 today. Made from 34 yards in the first half. Missed from 47 yards. Barnhart will hold. Mark Rodenhauser comes on to be the kick snapper, number 63.
Well, Ted Marchibroda right now has just got to be beside himself. All of it hinging down. So many things happening today, good and bad for both teams. Obviously, very disappointing in the production of the offense with what the Carolina Panther defense did to him, but able to hold on and keep it tight. Then that penalty putting him in field goal position.
Look for the Colts to try to get Tony Bennett, number 56, high in the middle, looking for a block. Kick is up and good. seconds left on the clock. Jerry Richardson applauds as his free agent acquisition kicker earns some of the money.
Doesn't look like such a bad idea to spend free agent money on a kicker at this point now, does it?
Clutch kick by Casey.
Well, you make a play like that, normally, the kickers, a little bit of outcast, kind of traction by themselves. You see the hold and the kick again. You know that he makes a winning kick like that. You know that Casey definitely will be included in all the reindeer games this next week.
Well, that was a look of relief on Casey's face after he kicked it out of Barnhart's hold, and the Colts had some elevation in the middle. Casey sneaked it inside the left upright.
He said, and I was kind of curious, too. In the plays leading up to it, they kept running Derek Moore off to the right. I guess Casey's more comfortable kicking from that right hash mark in instead of trying to run Derek Moore to the left and set it up in the middle of the field.
Casey giving the Panthers the lead at 13-10 with 8 seconds left. Colts came in with a 2-game winning streak, 7-5 record, momentum in the AFC East. They were rolling. Panthers were bitterly disappointed with their performance last Sunday night in New Orleans when they were beaten, and their sloppiest performance of the season so far. Both teams have reversed roles today.
Without a doubt, they have reversed roles today. You look at the Colts, and one of the points they had made about Harbaugh and the Colts, if you take the second half of the first Miami game and the first half of the second Miami game, Harbaugh was almost a perfect quarterback, had a rating of 158.1, which the maximum you can have is 158.3. They were hoping for that kind of production out of him today, but the injury pretty much precipitated by the aggressive play of the Panther defense really shut them down today.
Inability of the Colts offense to deal with the Panther linebackers and the constant blitzing from Vic Fangio's defense. Supervised by head coach Don Capers. Colts looking for a little razzle-dazzle here. Clock's running out as they throw cross field. Flag down. That was a forward pass. Game will end. John Casey saying, wait a minute, guys. There's a flag down. Let's be certain our work is done. We're pretty sure this flag represents
the
the
forward
lateral
pass on the play by the receiving team. The penalty is declined. The game's over.
Lamont Warren and Aaron Bailey creating the illegal forward pass. John Casey's field goal has given the Carolina Panthers a dramatic 13-10 upset win at home over the Indianapolis Colts. And we'll be back to wrap things up here at Clemson right after these.